Sorry about that. I see I had my camera on this time and I forgot the audio. Thanks, ATF Media. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, Grace. I guess I'll recap. Grace streamed yesterday quite a bit, recapping or A-logging Fat Camp. She was upset about Keemstar's behavior. They kind of doubled down that they're going all in on the Becky train. And then Ruby did an amazing stream. It was like a try-on stream, and then like she took a walk, and there's a bunch of interaction with Ben and Grace. They're in the chat. I guess Ruby unbanned everybody. Ben, it's just Ben. That's all I can say. But Ben's behavior in the comments over the course of the stream was pretty interesting and entertaining. He went from like love bombing her to hating her. Now she's banned. Ruby's banned from Thorpe TV. If you didn't know that, they're never gonna work with her again. They're never gonna work together again. VP was live as usual. She's still on her like 24/7 arc. I still haven't gotten any notifications from Healthy Family Forwards, which puts it at like what, 4 days probably at least with no content updates. ATF Media, Randy Wanzer, moderator, South to West. How's it going, everybody? Good morning, Grace. Grace had great eye makeup yesterday, by the way, during the A-logging stream. Yeah, they really want to go in with Becky, but then Becky keeps like kind of backtracking and saying like she wants to keep... She told Grace, I think, that she would A-log Fat Camp, but then she's also like kind of trying to keep a foot in with Keemstar. Whoops, I'm sorry, my mic was all the way over there. It's a bad day for audio, I guess. That's really all I got. Tony Yoman, he's got a new video. I watched the one he did where he had the catfish nuggets. And it looked like he had like 5 pounds of rice. But yeah, Savvy Guy. Somebody recommended yesterday he had one about how trouble doesn't last. I watched that. Great video. All right, ATF Media. Tomorrow we're doing Memphis Wrestling. I don't know about Saturday, but I don't know. I'll figure something out. Anyway, this is Primetime 19. It looks like a pretty loaded lineup. Entertainers, Chitwood, Chudy. Oh, Chuddy. That's what's his name, right? What's up? It's me. Chuddy. We've seen him before. Cheese. We've seen Reflection, and then I don't know about Horsies, so this will be interesting. All right, are we ready here for George Dorunda? I love the countdown.
You know, it's fun doing this kind of television where it's spontaneous,
unpredictable,
and incredibly inexpensive to shoot. Let's go.
I guess that's the horses, right, from the thing? He and Mark are going to be riding horses in the bumpers. Oh, the cat's throwing up.
Hi, I'm George Dorunda, and welcome to Primetime. And what a blockbuster show we've slapped together for you this time on Primetime, because coming up on the big show, we have stunt car driver Tim Chitwood.
Primetime tire expert Mike Chuddy.
And we're going to be looking at the making of Vermont cheese, also that great band Reflection. But to start the big show off,
it's the entertainers with Over or Under the Boardwalk.
Under the Boardwalk, Mark. Let's go, Haas.
You think Mary Lou Dragon is going to make an appearance with the horses? Plenty of lighting, yeah. All right, sorry. The cat threw up. I had to go clean it up. I didn't want to leave it on the. I'm gonna leave it to marinate. Oh, right off the bat.
Oh, when the sun beats down, it melts the tar upon the roof. When your shoes get so hot, you'll wish your tired feet were fireproof.
You think Savvy Guy was the guy who broke the 30-year streak for Love Left Me Forever? We got to check back in with that guy.
Under the boardwalk, well, down by the sea.
Oh, wow, under the boardwalk?
Well, on a blanket of my baby is where I'll be. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun. Under the boardwalk, we'll have some fun. Under the boardwalk, people walking about. Under the boardwalk,
Hey, Joe.
we'll be making
Hey, Candy
love.
Warhol. You wish Mike Chuddy would have been there to help explain tires to you?
From the park, you hear the polka sound of a carousel. You can taste the hot dogs and smell the French fries they sell. One to the boardwalk, or down by the sea. Well, on a blanket with my baby.
The comb overs. I was thinking that. I wasn't thinking comb overs, but I was just noticing that like everybody in the band has some kind of hair issues.
Swear I'll be under the boardwalk, out of the sun. Under the boardwalk, we'll have some fun. Under the boardwalk, people walking about. Under the boardwalk, we'll be making love. Under the boardwalk, Joe.
Do you think, Randy, that the reason is because they put on like 4 or 5 shows, but they only had an audience for one of them, so they just kept reusing the footage? 47. No, South to what or ATF? There you go. You got it, man. There's your footage. Wait, have we heard a steel drum before? Oh, it's a keyboard. I'm legit. I'm going to be so depressed when we watch the last one. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to cope with it.
When the sun beats down, it melts the tar upon the roof.
You think they need to start paying those people? Speaking of royalties, so yesterday's stream was like over 3 hours long, right? And we played like Jimmy at the end, and then we played the 2 Persian cowboy songs. Both of those cowboy songs got claimed by like 6 different music rights people. So like a 3-hour stream gets claimed because of like 6 minutes of audio. They should only be able to claim like whatever percentage of, and especially to give people like the right to monetize it is ridiculous.
When you shoes
They get ad revenue on a 3-hour stream because they're 3 minutes of their song is in it, like in a non-important way even.
get so hot, you wish your tired feet were
getting hot about it.
fireproof. Under the boardwalk, or down by the sea.
Yeah, but all this gets claimed too, ATF Media. Like every song on Primetime gets claimed. I wouldn't mind it if they didn't like, I just wish they took into account like what percentage of the stream it is, and like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't seem, there's like nothing there. It's like, oh, this is in it for like 2 seconds. The whole video's like blocked in 20 countries. My Way got claimed by a bunch of people, including like people in Brazil. And then so did That's Amore. Yeah, George Dorunda's into like he's a real like health food guy now. He likes to cut all of his content now is forestry content.
On the sun, under the boardwalk, we'll have some fun.
I can't sever all ties with Grace. They just made me a managing moderator on Thorpe TV. I'm like Thanos. I've got the Ruby wrench and I've got the Grace wrench.
People walking about under the boardwalk.
Hey, Jeremy.
We'll be making love under the boardwalk.
Imagine waking up and then just smoking indica weed and watching like the most mellow show ever. I don't know how I stay awake.
That was the Entertainers with Under the Boardwalk.
But hey, stick around. We'll be back with more of this merriment right after this.
Merriment. I love it.
We pledged our allegiance to it when we were young. We studied its importance when we were in our teens. We sing its praises at every sporting event. We display it when we celebrate, lower it when we mourn, and honor our heroes with it when they...
I don't think I have studio access like I do for the Jedi. I think I'm just the managing moderator.
fallen. It stands for what we are and what...
Oh, it's always worth it to me. Like, I don't even care about, like, I just wish they wouldn't block it. I hate it when they block it places, is what gets me. Because then I either have to go in and remove the song, which sucks, because I do feel like the streams are like a kind of a story in a way. But it's just dumb. Like, you'll just click on it and be like, oh, because there's, 30 seconds of music in a bumper, it's blocked in 29 countries.
We believe in. How we treat it says a lot about us.
Oh my God. If this is what's ahead, I can't wait. Holy shit.
My next guest is a legend in stunt
Look at the Warner Brothers hat. Wow.
driving. No, I don't mean our associate producer, Mark. It's Tim Chitwood. Well, Tim, welcome to Primetime.
Hi, how you doing?
Pleasure to have you here. You certainly are, well, it's a family of legends, actually.
Right. Yeah, I would say my dad was the legend, and I'm just trying to carry it on. We're real proud of the name my dad made for us, and glad to be back at the Big E.
Well, you've done a lot of stunt driving for movies and television performances.
That's right. Over the years, we've done some James Bond movies, Live and Let Die.
I don't have a Jedi wrench. I have editor, which has more stuff than wrench, but I don't have a wrench there. The Aphrodite wrench.
We did Smokey and the Bandit 3.
Oh, wow.
The Chips TV serials, Miami Vice, Spencer for Hire, that sort of thing. So we've done a lot of movie and TV work.
This guy worked on Spencer for Hire. Remember that movie or that show with Robert Urich?
Also.
Now, of all the stunts, what is the most dangerous stunt?
Well, that's hard to put. Probably doing what we do here at the Big E would be the crash work. The crashes the Hollywood type crashes. Or the cannon jump at the end of the show. Be a toss-up between those. They can all be dangerous. It just depends what happens.
Has anyone ever really gotten hurt? Seriously?
We've had one fatality in 1952, and we've had some serious injuries over the year, but overall, I think our safety record's pretty good.
Considering the motions that you're going through, when a car leans over...
Exactly, Randy. That's what I like about it. Plus, like, in 91, I would have been 12, and, like, if you went to local little like fairs and stuff at the time, you would see nothing on this scale around where I was at, but like they'd have like a big metal cage, and like the motorbikes would like go in circles inside the cage, and they called it like the cage of death or something like that. I always like that kind of shit.
On 2 wheels.
That's probably the most difficult stunt we do. Actually, with the slow speed, it's really not that dangerous. Of course, you can tear up a new automobile, and
But it must be tough to maintain balance.
It is. That's the hardest thing to learn in the show, probably.
Now, are these special high-performance cars that you're working with?
Well, they're high-performance stock. We have the Z28s that we use for some of the precision driving. Actually, the 2-wheel cars are 6 cylinders. So they're all stock cars, whatever is available from the factory. We do get the heavy-duty suspension, of course, and the heavy-duty shocks on them. Other than that, they're totally stock cars.
Do you have anything new in the show this year?
Well, our newest addition is Chevy Thunder, a jet-powered pickup truck. It actually has a fighter jet engine in it, and it does what we call a fire and lightning show, and then it does a short blast off at the end. Obviously, it can't run 200 miles an hour with the room we have here, but it puts on quite a show, and it'll be working here today.
I was waiting for the truck to like break in half.
A pickup truck that actually can travel at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's the world's fastest truck. It actually went 181 in a standing quarter mile, and that's what made it the world's fastest pickup. Now, of course, here today.
Oh, if you missed it too, Ben has burnt all bridges with Chaotic Truth. He said he's done with Chaotic Truth, that he thinks Chaotic Truth is a self-loathing black man and he won't have anything to do with him. And Chaotic Truth replaced Ben with Grid 1. I thought that was kind of funny.
We have a different tailpipe in it to shoot flames, and then it does a short blast off at the end. So it's been real popular.
And have you had any close calls personally yourself?
Well, I've never had any broken bones, knock on wood, but I've been shaken up quite a few times, and I've wrecked a lot of cars, new ones unintentionally, but I've never been seriously injured, no.
But would you say that this is safer than really traveling on the highways?
In some respects it is, because we're all professionals, and when we're out there together, we know what each other's going to do. And obviously in the crashes and even in the jumps, we wear seat belts and helmets and take all the precautions. And if you know your limits and you do approach it on a professional level like we do, it could be as safe as that for the.
And especially since everything is pretty well choreographed.
Right.
Everybody knows where they have to be and when they have to be there.
Exactly.
I was thinking Spicoli, but he says dirt shoot.
Exactly. But there is an element of danger, and things can happen, and they have in the past.
That's why it's a thrill show.
That's right. That's why they come out.
Well, Tim, thanks for being here with us on Primetime.
Okay, George, thank you.
And it was a pleasure having you here.
All right, great.
Hope to see you again real soon.
Okay.
Terrible recasting choice, yeah. Oh my God. And he was like, I've never seen Grid have a serious discussion before or try to. Man, it was bleak.
And stick around. We'll be back with more Primetime right after this.
Clint Eastwood is a little upset.
Seems some misguided individuals out there are abusing our public lands, and I don't like it. And I don't think you do either. Vandalizing parks and robbing historic sites, or overrunning wild areas, those are ours, and we have to save them. As I see it, these clowns can either clean up their act.
Do you think he still has this opinion that we should protect the parks, or do you think he's on board with kind of the recent, like, sell off all the land push?
Or get out of town.
Write Take Pride in America. Post Office Box 1339, Jessup, Maryland 20794.
By the way, if you guys are history buffs or you're just interested in like the national park system, that Ken Burns documentary on it is amazing. And it's crazy what it took to get the parks made and like all the attempts over the years to like shut them down. It's really interesting. It's long. It's like really long, but I think it's worth it.
Welcome back to Primetime. Well, my next guest has been with us before, and yes, he's here with
you go, Candy Warhol.
us again. He's our resident Primetime tire expert. Here's Mike Chuddy. Well, Mike, welcome back to Primetime. You're a regular fixture here.
Well,
Every couple of months, you pop in with some interesting tire facts.
I enjoy doing the program with you.
You know, Mike, my van's been pulling to the right. Now, I don't know what this is. Some people say it's alignment, or could I really have a tire problem?
Well, it could be any one of a number of things. You could have a tire problem.
George is like, hey, glad to have you on here so that I can promote your business. Hey, listen, I've got some personal problems I need you to take a look at.
Radial tires are prone to problems that make the tire pull to one side or the other.
So it may not necessarily be the need for an alignment.
No, alignment does cause pulls. It'll make your vehicle pull to one side or the other, but that's a whole other thing that we're going to need a lot of time to talk about all by itself.
Oh, that's another whole program.
Right. But tire...
Not that I can remember, Joe Shabatoni, but it is interesting that at times our, like, huge sections of our national park, the only reason they were, like, upkept or cared for was because of, like, one, like, quasi-homeless guy that was living in them. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Pulls are a major concern with radial tires. They've been around ever since radial tires have been made.
Well, in regard to like the Christmas cards and the reusing of footage, if you look at the episode list, like we're in 1991 now. We started in 1989 and we're only 19 episodes in. So I don't know if we're missing episodes, but I don't think we are, because this is George Dorunda's like official page. So I think he would put like if there were missing episodes, but it looks like there was only like 15-ish episodes in 1990 from what I can see.
And they're caused by the belt in the tire not being in exactly the right spot. There's a few different names for it. There's conicity, there's lateral pull, there's acceleration pull. A lot of different names for a lot of problems that are very close but slightly different. The big thing that we usually notice in a tire pull is the car is driving down the highway and you take your hand off the steering wheel and all of a sudden the car starts drifting off to the right or to the left.
Mm-hmm. That's what mine does.
Well, most often that's caused by the steel belt in the tire not being perfectly flat and being a little raised on one side. And it's just as if you had a cone and you laid it on its side and rolled it. The cone wouldn't go straight, it would go around a corner. And this is what the tire's doing. The pulls can be caused by the tires themselves, and we should probably check the
He
pull
seems
in your
pretty
van
jovial,
by taking
George,
the two front tires and switching them from one side to the other to see if the van pulls the other way before we put it on the alignment rack and check the alignment. And this way we can eliminate the tires from the problem. If we switch the tires side to side and find that it's pulling the other way, we know for sure we've got a tire problem. But if it's still pulling to the side that it originally was, then we'll get it in the alignment shop and check that out.
Well, we know what my problem is, but what other kind of problems can we have with tires?
Well, there's a few different kinds of problems that you can have. One of them is that the tire shakes as it rolls down the road. And this can be a fairly minor problem coming from the fact that the tire is out of balance. That we can...
I wonder, though, on the Christmas cards, I don't know, I guess he could have filmed them all at the same time, but I worked a long time ago, like over 20 years ago, I worked at a body shop, and I feel like if you walked into it at any time, it always kind of looked the same. So maybe that's the case. Maybe we'll get to talk to George one day and get to the bottom of it.
Correct, by simply putting it on a dynamic or a computer spin balancer and adding lead weights in the right spot. A problem that's not so easy to diagnose is a broken belt in the tire. Sometimes the belt in the tire will twist and it'll be very obvious that it's twisted because the car will do a little bit of a duck walk down the road. Mm-hmm. You'll notice that at low speeds around 15 or 20 miles per hour. If the belt is broken, though, only marginally, your vibration may show up at, say, 40 miles an hour. And that's maybe halfway in between a real broken belt problem and a tire balance problem. It's a little more...
You think you got some free tires?
...difficult to diagnose. But still, it's caused by...
Did you hear Grace and Ben thinking that if Keemstar could pretty much go into like businesses and tell them that he had 6,000 people watching and that like they would give him free shit? I don't think that's true. I've seen a lot of streamers try that and get like smacked down or get like shamed online for doing it.
By the belt and the tire coming apart from the cord body and making a little S curve in the tread. And so
now Keemstar might be able to, because he has like that little tiny sliver of maybe somebody might know who he is off of YouTube, but I kind of doubt it.
As the tire rolls, it does a little duck walk.
So the making of radial tires still is really not perfected.
3.06.
Still isn't, probably never will be.
Now, if you let this go, can this eventually cause some serious problems with your vehicle?
Well, it can cause problems.
I would love to sit down with George. Have you ever watched like when Jim Cornette does like a watch along and he just like talks over the map? I would love to do like something like this, but with George, like to really break down the show.
With the suspension of your car, excessive vibration is going to cause parts in your car to wear out. The pounding that often goes with a broken belt in a tire is going to cause your ball joints or your tie rod ends or your shock absorbers to wear out prematurely. So yeah, you want to get it taken care of as quick as you can. As far as safety goes, you don't often see tires blowing out on the road like you used to in the old days. And I've seen some pretty severely distorted tires that still hold air and still get the people where they have to go. And they don't often blow out. What you usually see on the side of the road.
You went through some of the older videos and it's all 0 comments. Like what, like just the videos that I've posted. I had very little. I mean, the movie reviews would get some interactions with random people, but like it took a little bit to start getting any kind of feedback on like the Grace stuff.
With big hunks of rubber are pieces of large truck tire casings where the trucks have been overloaded and the tires heated up way beyond where they're supposed to be, and that causes those tires to fall apart. But you usually don't see passenger car tires blowing out.
So that problem is a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah,
Savvy Guy makes videos like this, if you didn't know. Every once in a while he'll post a video of some kind of like just one singular like auto repair video, like auto repair issue.
It very rarely happens now. Most tire problems occur from road hazards, picking up things in the road like nails or pieces of glass, or driving the car into a curbing or through a large pothole where the tire gets damaged or cut. Nowadays, most tire companies give warranties that cover the tire against defects in materials and workmanship. Mm-hmm. And if you have a problem with a tire...
Oh, are you talking about my comments on this show?
...that is defective, you take it into your dealer, he'll measure the tread on the tire, and he'll charge you an adjusted price for a new tire based on how much tread is worn off of it. Or if you have a mileage warranty with a tire, he'll base the adjustment price on how many miles are on the tire.
Maybe George has to like go in and hand approve the comments.
Based on how long it was supposed to wear.
You mentioned
because when I comment on like Savvy Guy or Tony Yeoman, like I get a response pretty quick. So maybe George has is holding comments or something
about tire manufacturers not covering road hazards. What things can void a warranty?
There's a few things that void a tire manufacturer's warranty, and the biggest, absolute worst thing is running the tire flat.
Dead flat.
Dead flat will destroy the tire. So if you get a flat tire, or if you've got a tire that's going soft and looks like it needs to be changed right away.
And I mean, he definitely, you know what we need to do? We need to go into his account when we're done watching Primetime and go onto one of the tree videos. Because I know he's active on YouTube, so we need to leave a comment on a tree review. Maybe that'll get his attention.
Take the time, get out of the car, and change the tire. Because if you drive that tire, sometimes even only a few hundred feet, the rim is going to be riding on the sidewall of the tire, and it's going to cut it up.
Mary Lou Dragon heard about the rim riding, and she's all in.
So once you bring that into your tire dealer, he sees the sidewall of the tire chewed up from riding it flat, and he's going to say, I'm sorry, but the tire manufacturer avoids the warranty when the tire is running.
He should work in exchange for box.
Flat. And even if it was our fault that it went flat, you're out of luck. So the big thing is don't ever, ever run a tire flat. Get out and change it.
Now, when you change a flat tire, a lot of these subcompact cars are coming with these little donut tires, bicycle tires. Are those safe?
Yes, they're safe, but it's not just the subcompact cars that are coming with them now.
I see larger cars coming with them.
Almost all the cars come with them now. You can spend $50,000 for a car and still get what's called a space.
I think George also wants, I think he genuinely wants part of the show to be, helpful and educational. I think he wants, a little bit, a sampler platter of stuff. So I think that's why we get a lot of he wants stuff that will actually, hopefully, help somebody.
Space Saver spare. Yes, they're safe. They're made to be a temporary spare tire. They're not made to drive cross-country on. But
that's true, ATF Media. That kind of maybe signals that this was like recorded way before the other one, because that would have been an interesting thing, either to take him with him to the car thing or to like ask him about it.
if you're in a position of having to drive a couple hundred miles on this tire, don't hesitate to do it because it is perfectly safe.
I think you should do that to an extent, South to West, when you're talking to like an expert on something, if you're interviewing, because they're the expert, so like you want the information, you want them to have like the authoritative, viewpoint on it. So I can kind of see like kind of not chiming in yourself and just letting them carry the conversation, because the viewers want to see that. They don't care what George Dorunda thinks about tires. They care what Mike Chuddy thinks about tires.
It'll still hold up on the highway and everything.
Sure, it will. Theirs is printed right into the sidewall of the tire, a warning not to exceed 50 miles per hour on the tire. So you won't want to go more than that speed. But one of the major tire manufacturers took a bunch of Space Saver spares and put them all around the car and drove it around the perimeter of the country for 8,000 miles.
Really?
And they were fine.
Well, Mike, that certainly has been interesting. It's been great to have you back. Thanks again.
But nice talking with you, George.
I'm sure we've
George size-mogging Chuddy. Geez, he looks like he's twice as big.
got some more interesting facts we'll have to cover at some other point in time, because once again, we're out of time. We're running late.
I look forward to seeing
Tire Infirmary. What terrible 1990s colors. Ugh.
you next time.
I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again. We'll be back with more Prime Time after this.
Man, this hits.
When I first got my license, every time I left the house,
Not
my
this
parents
lady
would say,
again.
"Remember to buckle up, dear." But I never did. Just didn't seem too cool. Besides, most of the time I was only going around the block.
You guys want me to do an IRL where I just go into like a random Jiffy Lube and ask them if they can show us anything about they can show us anything about cars?
You know how parents are. Always telling you what to do. But you know what? I wish I'd listened. I really do.
I'll just walk in and be like, "Hey, I just wanted to show the viewers, what an oil change place was like."
My next guest is a Vermont cheese expert here at the Big E.
ATF Media is feasting right now. A Vermont cheese expert? Okay.
He's Howard Allen.
That's correct.
Welcome to Prime Time.
Well, nice to be here.
Now, is Vermont cheese positively the best cheese?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. We may be a little prejudiced, but one of the Vermont cheesemakers, Cabot, got the first
We're very prejudiced, but we make good cheese.
prize. I believe it was last year in cheese competition.
This is nationwide?
Nationwide.
And he got it was first prize.
First prize. But there's other cheesemakers in Vermont, and they all do pretty much an equally good job.
Now, are there different varieties of cheese?
Oh, yes, it's different in the making and the cooking, but we're talking primarily here Vermont cheddar, but we're selling at this booth here at the fair.
So you can have different varieties of Vermont cheddar, but it's all primarily Vermont. It's still Vermont cheddar.
That's right. And what makes the difference in the taste is the age. How long the cheese is aged, it gives it a little sharper flavor, a little more sting to the tongue, and so
do you think that's true for Prime Time too? That like as it's aged, it's just gotten more and more like fragrant?
Though the cheddar all starts out the same,
Back at the
it has a little different flavor the longer it's aged.
What's the range of ages?
Well, it goes from 6 months, I'd say, to 2 years.
And what do you think is the best?
Did they ever, during the when they were driving around constantly, did they ever go through Vermont for anything?
I think the best is 15 months.
The best that's what you do.
That's what we're selling here, and we found over the years that 15 months gets pretty good public acceptance. If you get much beyond that 2-year-old cheese, people like it. It's a little stronger, but it turns off some people too.
Why don't we
try some of that, sir?
It is positively the best.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Vermont cheddar, you're right. Just a little tang on the tongue.
That's right. And if you get much
Grace, just a little tang on the tongue.
beyond 15 months, it's
I can't
the tang
use
gets
Spicoli,
a little tangier, a little bitter, say. And some people like it. They like it 2 years old, but we have to, at this particular stand, we're dealing with everybody. And so
That's what I'm thinking. For some reason, it could just be because I'm high and paranoid, but I was thinking they cut through Vermont or they drove close to it. I'm picturing like Ben pointing something out to Grace in relation to it, but I can't remember for sure.
try for 15 months.
All right, I think it tastes just fine. As a matter of fact, I'll have to have another.
Well, it's good.
Howard, thanks for being here on Primetime. We'll be back with more Primetime
I'm going to look it up, and it's just going to be Ben going, Grace, there's Vermont.
right after this. Stick around.
Have you guys ever ridden on an elephant before? I have a few times. It's always very stressful. I think it's less stressful to ride on like a roller coaster or like something like that. I think it's less stressful to ride on a roller coaster, like a crazy theme ride, than an elephant. I don't know. I didn't care. It's like super anxiety inducing for me while it's happening. Dirt shoot. What does Spicoli say? Neo vajayjay? That always cracks me up. He's like, I can tell the difference. I can tell.
Way back in 1988, when I was young, the American Cancer Society taught me that a low-fat, high-fiber diet could reduce the risk of cancer. I gave up some of my vices, didn't drink too much, ate my vegetables, especially those rich in vitamins A and C, and every bite was delicious. Today, I'm 82 and still having a blast.
Ready for warp speed, Commander.
Execute.
The American Cancer Society knows eating right can reduce the risk of cancer.
This next musical group has been with us before on Primetime. It's one of our favorite groups here on the program.
It's Reflection performing Waiting for You.
So, I mean, like, technically, if you were just at, like, an outdoor, open to the public thing and someone was performing, you could just film it, right? And put it on your show if you really wanted to. Like, I know George has, like, sets and his shit is set up, but I'm saying, like, if you didn't have the budget or the connections for that, but you wanted musical content for your show, in theory, you could legally use, aside from the copyright on, like, the cover music or whatever, but I think you could use, public footage of, like, bands performing on your show. Oh, wow. Oh my God. I gotta have a second just to prepare for this. This is gonna be great. I gotta turn my volume up a little bit. There has maybe never been a more built up beginning that flatlined as soon as you heard the guy sing. You think there's still some lingering tension between George and Mark, and that's making the throwing off the lighting on the horse segments? Dude, if he would have hit those notes, it would have been like 80s Hogan level pop, and instead he just brutalized it.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, around my...
Get Crack for Me really sang this? Well, I'll have to find the. We'll have to watch the John Galt karaoke. That actually sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, he doesn't have a fuck me voice. You need to have a fuck me voice for this song. Where's the girl? Isn't this the band that has a girl, or am I thinking of a different one? I thought this guy always had that weird, like, vibe with the chick singer. You know who wouldn't have given a thin, weak performance is Persian Cowboy, dude. He would have been singing from the nuts through this whole thing.
I hear the laughter, I taste the tears, but I can't get near you.
God bless you, George, for putting this in here, man. George is an absolute buddy troll.
Can't you see it, baby? You've got me going crazy. Wherever you go,
wherever you go,
whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes,
my old man.
right here waiting for you. I wonder how we can survive.
They'd be throwing stuff like on the Blues Brothers, or remember Roadhouse? They had that too.
This romance. But in the end, if I'm with you, I'll take the chance.
Oh, here he comes. Dude, I'm sorry, but I guarantee you, no matter how bad she might have been, the girl should have sang this song. Like, at least she's got a little bit of power to her voice. This is a power ballad, man. You can't come in with a... This is not the time to be flaccid and allow for mystery. This is the time to get, bricked up.
See, baby, you've got me going crazy. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes.
How is Frankie Kazarian here not telling him how bad he sounds? I would for sure. I'd be like, dude, can we try a different song? Man, I gotta tell you, that stunk. And how often do you hear me say that?
That was Reflection and Waiting for You.
Yes, and that just about wraps it up, Mark, with another great blockbuster primetime. And I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Thanks to folks here at the Forest Park Stables.
No, I don't think so, Randy. What was the no, the Robin Hood song was Anything I Do It For You, or something like that. Everything I do it for you. And he would botch that one too. My God, he doesn't have the testicular fortitude to pull off a song like that.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back next time to try it all over again. Good night, everybody.
I love that George literally put maybe the worst segment in primetime history on as like the main event of the show. Well, I stand by it. I think that George is a buddy troll in some of these cases because if you watch his facial reactions and stuff like that, I think he knows. It wasn't Kino like we know it, but like Kino, like he knew cinema. He knew what was going on. He knew that performance was not the one to get bookings for Reflections. You know what I mean? I don't know that he'll leave because he's pretty ingrained in the show. If you look at the credits, he does quite a bit of stuff. Somebody in the band was named Carl Satard in George's band. So in other words, you think George is going to become the first person in history to blame the docket team? Oh my God, that wouldn't surprise me if he was killed in the Wonderland. George seems like he's got his tentacles everywhere. What if I finally met George and when I talked to him, I built the I talked about the show like it was this mythic thing, and he's like, "Oh, that's just some dumb shit I did in the 90s." Because I haven't thought or cared about that in 30 years. Would I consider joining wrestling? No, I'm old, man. Like I couldn't take very many bumps or anything. I couldn't do anything like that. I could cut a promo, I guess. I would like to. I mean, I think it would be fun, especially if they let me say stuff that was like really like upset the fans. I think that'd be kind of fun. I think if you could make like today's smarks like legitimately mad at you, that would be a pretty good like feather in your hat as a performer. I'm also in like I'm not an athlete at all, as you can tell from someone who smokes weed and watches YouTube at 8 a.m. So like yeah, I would have to just like cut a promo or do like a backstage vignette. I think you're more likely to see me pop up in like one of the like Alabama promotions. I went roller skating not too long ago. Oh, we're at the end of the episode. But for real, if you are young enough and in good enough shape to roller skate, you should do it because that's one of those things like as you get older, every year that passes, it's like, oh man, my roller skating window is closing. Like one bad fall and like you're cooked. Would I manage someone? I'd have to manage somebody that was really willing to, get in the shit because I would want to really just talk like nuclear levels of garbage to the fans and then have like a big, like somebody the size of Mabel or Viscera that could like stand in front of me whenever if anybody gets out of line. I'd want to be like the big mouth chicken shit heel manager.
Hey America, where would you be without your trains, your planes, and your automobiles? Well, probably where you are right now. At home, sitting in front of the TV,
comments.
wasting time. And have you ever felt that you, the home viewer, you don't have
a Wheel of Death. I wonder if that's going to be like that thing that I saw. Oh, look at this background. Are they at WrestleMania 3?
Saying the matter, you don't have a choice as to what you're going to see on television. Well, tonight we hope to solve all that. This is a history-making evening. For the first time in the history of television, it's going to be true democracy in action. You, the home viewer, via your remote, you'll get to vote, and the votes will be tabulated.
Like, like even in like that like fantasy scenario where like all of a sudden like you have like a billion followers and you get to do something like that. But like I wouldn't want to just go on and like wave to people. Like that'd be pointless to me. Like I would want to do something really upsetting to people as part of the storyline, of course.
Into this highly sensitive piece of
We're
equipment.
almost set, George.
Yeah, Mark is working on this piece.
Mr. Fuji was a lifelong athlete, and I'm telling you, I've taken a bump in the ring. Like they hurt, like legit, like just a regular bump in a ring is not pleasant. Like I could probably do it, but knowing my luck, like I would end up doing like a Vince McMahon and blow my quads out rolling into the ring.
Piece of equipment here, and you're gonna get a chance to vote on what you're gonna see on today.
And Grace would play it back in like 0.5 speed, like she did when Brantley showed her belly on cam.
A show. Are we almost ready, Mark?
I'm all set, George.
Now to vote, you're gonna be given a choice 1 and a choice 2. And at the appropriate time, when we say vote now, you'll press either 1 or 2 on your remote. It's that simple, and you, the folks at home, will get
Look at this kayfabe shit George is doing.
to choose what you see on today's primetime. Okay, we're all set, Mark?
I'm all set right here, George.
Okay. First, do you want to hear our regular fine primetime theme? Or do you want to hear Jolly Joe Kojo sing his Sunshine song? Vote now.
Oh my gosh. Is this the... Okay, at this point, can we agree George Dorunda is like the most important creative mind of all time? He was doing live... Well, I mean, I don't think they actually voted, but he's at least kayfabing. Like, this is the original Cyber Sunday, remember, where you could pick, like, which legend got to wrestle the heel or whatever? What a pioneer.
And here, I think we're going to be listening to Jolly Joe Kojo sing his...
Wow, over 100,000 people voted. Do you want to hear the primetime theme again? 44,000 people.
Fine Sunshine song. Okay. Now the second area we're going to be voting on is our opening. Do you want to see our regular opening montage that we use on the show every week? Or do you want to look at some of Mark's wrestling magazines?
Oh, no way! We want to look at the wrestling magazines.
And yeah, it looks like we're going to be looking at some of Mark's wrestling magazines.
Jeez.
Well, now the third thing we're going to be voting on is our co-host. Now, number 1, do you want Mark to remain here as co-host for the rest of the show? Or, number 2, do you want me to co-host the show with late night's David Letterman? Vote now. And
yeah, make sure.
Hey,
to
look,
vote.
Mark. I guess you're going to be co-hosting the program.
Oh wow, he won in a landslide.
I'm not out of a job.
Wow, it's even spelled with a C. That's really interesting. That's not super common.
You're not out of a job yet. Jan, can you tell Dave we won't be needing him this time? Send him home and tell him we'll be getting in touch with him. Okay, Dave is on his way. Now the next area is
wherever you are.
Reset this.
Oh, yeah, we gotta reset that.
that performance from Reflections is gonna be absolutely burned into my brain now.
What do you want us to wear? Now, number 1 choice is, do you want me and Mark to wear orange jumpsuits? Or the second choice, do you want us to wear what we wore to the station today? Which is, by the way, what I have on. And
Orange
that's what Mark has on.
jumpsuits.
You can vote now. And it looks like we're going to be wearing what we wore to the station today. Okay, now the last area that we're going to...
He's like a Bruno. He probably couldn't draw outside of New England, but huge there.
vote on right now is, we usually go out to some exclusive location to videotape our primetime programs, but today we decided to stay here at the station in the Sky Dome. Now, what would you like to see for the background for the entire show? Would you like to see, number 1, planes landing at Westover? Or, number 2, Morgan horses? Vote now.
Oh, wow, that could go either way.
Comes up Morgan horses.
It looks like we're going to be looking at Morgan horses for our background here for the entire program. Okay, let's run things down one more time. Our theme, instead of our usual theme, we're going to listen to Jolly Joe Cordial sing his Sunshine Song. Our opening montage will be of Mark's wrestling magazines. Co-hosting the show, we had to send David Letterman home. Mark is going to co-host the show. We're going to wear what we wore to the station today, and our background is going to be Morgan horses. Okay, let's begin this
Well, there you go. They filled almost 5 minutes of the show.
history-making event.
I'm so happy to be living in the sunshine. No more snow and shovels make me very happy. Swimming pools and women fill my eyes so jolly. I'm so glad to.
This show is too perfectly designed for this stream, I think. The primetime, I mean. It's just amazing. It has so many crossovers with the other shit we watch.
Be here enjoying the sunshine.
Oh no, Hogan Warrior. This, honestly, too, is another thing you can add to the Dorunda Did It files. This is actually really big on YouTube now. People will, just make a video of them, turning the pages in the old 80s wrestling magazines.
I'm so happy to be living in the sunshine. No more snow and shovels make me very happy. Swimming pools and women fill my eyes so jolly. I'm so glad.
Hi, I'm George Dorunda.
And hi, I'm Mark Bro.
And welcome to a history-making event, the first Home Viewers' Choice Custom Show, where you, the home viewers, have voted for what you're going to see on the program today. And what a lineup we have for the show today. We're going to have Gary Sladek and his Wheel of Death.
And we'll be showing you how you, the folks at home, can get your pictures on the front of a magazine cover.
Yeah, and we're going to have also the entertainers. But to start off the big show, it's EFO, the Eddie Foreman Orchestra, performing Stone by Stone.
Yes. Finally, something with some testosterone this morning.
I've been afraid to let somebody love me for so long.
Have we seen this guy before? I know we've seen this band, but I don't remember this guy. Or maybe he was playing an instrument and not singing.
Long, but you're tearing down the walls I built around me. Stone by stone, stone by stone. You've taken all of the pain I've been holding inside me. Love is the way we have a place to begin. It's feeling like we're gonna be together from now on. From now on, we're building love upon a firm foundation.
It's not gay if it's during polka.
Stone by stone, stone by stone.
Look at this drummer.
I've been afraid to let somebody love me for so long, but you're tearing down the walls I built around me, stone by stone.
This guy is so he's so chill, but you just know he's like a raging alcoholic, I feel like.
Stone by stone, you've taken all of the pain I've been holding inside me. Love is the place to begin. It's feeling like we're gonna be together from now on.
Picking up. It's getting
From
to
now on, we're building love upon a firm foundation, stone by stone, stone by stone.
Is the name of this band EFD? Oh, it's EFO. I thought it was like EFD for real. EFO $306. Dude, that slapped, man. That was great.
That was EFO with Stone by Stone.
Yes, and it's that time of the program again. It's time for you folks at home to vote again.
How come that song seemed like it lasted like 30 seconds, but the other guys was like 6.5 minutes?
Get your remotes. We're going to vote this time, and it's for only the rest of this segment. Do you want us to sound like we usually do? That's number one. Or, number two, do you want us to sound like we're in a cavern with an echo effect? Vote now.
No. Okay, guys, I'm just going to say this. There's something's going on here, okay? If you watched the Thorpes last night, what did they do? They experimented with audio that made them sound like they were in a cave or a cavern. What's going on here? Is this like, am I someone who thinks I'm doing like a show about somebody else, but really they're like scientists studying what happens if you just continually feed people content that are like exactly lined up with their interests?
Results are in.
The results are in, and it looks like we're going to be adding an echo effect for the rest of this segment only. Okay, Jan, turn on the echo. Sounds.
I don't. This is outlandish.
Screams already.
What?
I know that echo. Well, the folks at home voted on it. We have no choice in the matter. But when we return, we'll have Gary and his Wheel of Death.
My
Stick
brain
around.
is like. Now, for those of you who've been watching along the entire time, I think these are the same people we saw in the very first episode, if I'm remembering right, the episode about horse breeding.
You know, Piggy, everybody's trying to save energy. What can we do?
Don't waste electricity.
You can make a difference. Write National Wildlife Federation, Washington, D.C. 20036.
Yes, my next guest spins for a living. This is called the Space Wheel.
The Wheel of Death?
The Wheel.
This is called the Space Wheel. Actually, it's the Wheel of Death. The Wheel of Death. Excellent job, George. See, Buddy Troll.
Wheel of Death. And this is Gary with the Hannaford Circus. Welcome to Prime Time.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Why do you call it the Wheel of Death? Has anyone died?
We call this the Wheel of Death because every time you go up on this thing, you're taking
what?
Taking a chance. You're risking your life. This is the small wheel that I have. I have a larger wheel with a 8-foot section that goes in the middle of this, so it takes me up another 8 feet. You fall from the top of this, chances are you might not get up. This people have been hurt in this act. This is an act that
You're not going to find a lot of riders doing the Wheel of Death. This is something you've got to build up core strength for on Deca Durabalum.
originated in Europe, Germany actually, and I took this act over from a fellow who fell and can't do it anymore. Now he's a little bit older now, and he's walking, but...
Hey, listen, I was in a terrible accident. I don't even know if I'll ever walk again, but I have something I'd like to sell you.
He had a bad fall, and he's a little bit crippled up. Not too bad, but I mean, I don't expect to ever be like that because I'm a better acrobat than he ever was. But this fellow was decent. He was good, and he just got away from him one day, and he fell. But I don't plan on. I'm a daredevil, but I like to be a pretty safe daredevil. I'm thinking every time I'm up there, and I'm scared of this.
This to me is one of those like skills that I just don't. It's like, okay, yeah, but who cares? Like, yeah, it's dangerous and it probably takes some skill of some kind, but like, who cares? Like, this just isn't in. It's not even really, aside from his look and his like his attitude. There's really nothing interesting about this act. I mean, it's not really that fun to watch. I don't think. I feel like you could see 30 seconds of it and be like, okay, I get it.
Wheel here, but I also have a good respect, and I enjoy doing it. I have fun when I come out to do the act.
And what did you do before this?
I was a national champion gymnast in college. I went to State University of New York in Farmingdale, Long Island, and about 13 years ago, I was champion gymnast in school, and I had two choices: either get into the stunt field, go out to LA or so, Hollywood, and try to be a stuntman, or get into entertainment field and be like a free.
I went out there with my buddy Glenn Lawrence. We went out and we starred in Tenet. We got some other roles.
Freelance performer, and
He became a podcaster. I became a daredevil.
I have about 5 or 6 acts that I do, from high daredevil acts to low acts, comedy trampoline acts on the ground, and things of this nature. So I mean, I have a big repertoire and a lot of versatility. So this is a good field for me. In the stunt field, for motion pictures and stuff, if I went out there, I could get into stunt work probably very easily. But I'd twist my ankle once, and they'd say, "Next." There's 1,000 people waiting behind you.
So that's what made you choose this as opposed to the motion picture
as
industry.
opposed to that. A stuntman doesn't get any recognition in the motion picture industry. I have a much better feeling.
Was it Tojo Yamamoto that told you that, ATF?
Performing right in front of the people. They're right here. I can see their faces. And I love to perform for them. And they show me their appreciation. It makes me feel great. We were talking about being right up close to your audience, okay? I do a hand balancing act. I stack 6 3-foot chairs on top of a 8-foot table. I have no tricks, no gimmicks. It's all balanced, and I'm real proud of it. And many people, they come up to me after the show or intermission and say, "Oh, do those chairs stick together?" I say, "Well, there they are. Go look at them." And it's just
like a character Will Ferrell or Ben Stiller would play.
To be able to do this act right in front of an audience that's 15 feet from you, in their eyes, seeing that the chairs don't stick together and that it's all you, they really appreciate it, and I appreciate that they appreciate me.
Well, we all know on television anything can be edited, but this guy is real. How do you keep it balanced? Like when you're up on top, it's swinging at a...
I agree 100%, Anand. Definitely, that's all cope.
Good speed.
Right, okay, this Wheel of Death here is all works. It's a matter of physics. It has a center axle.
Hey, there was too many people in line for the stunt work. It was only me and a guy that couldn't walk for the Wheel of Death.
Bearings, and if you look on top, that's a heavy-weighted counterbalance. I stand in the wheel, that evens out the weight. So I walk forward, the wheel moves. I walk backward, the wheel moves. I control the speed of the wheel. If I want it to stop,
if
I'm going backwards and I want it to stop, I move a little forward, then the wheel stops.
The way to troll this guy would just be to be like, to say that you could do it. You know what I mean? Just make it be like, yeah, it's neat and everything, but seems like you could just kind of pop in there and what do? You walk forward, like, okay.
If I'm going,
but hey, I appreciate your theatrics and the drama. Like, you're dressing it up like something big's happening, but really you're not doing anything. It's great that you have that good of audience control that you can do something that takes like no talent but fool people. That's how I would talk to him if I wanted to troll him.
Forward, I have to inch up a little backwards. If I stay back on the wheel a little bit, I let it get away from me a little bit. It goes a little faster. I can make it go fast. I can make it go slow.
And as you jump around in it.
The most exciting part of the act is when I climb onto the outside. Then it's the wheel kicks up into the air, the counterbalance, and now I'm in the race for my life, and I have to keep up with the wheel, like and just sometimes I get a little bit too far behind. As you saw, if you were looking while I was practicing, I went to get on the wheel. I let it get too far ahead of me. I had to grab the outside strut and just hold on for dear life as I went around one time and righted myself. That wasn't a trick. That was a mistake. But I grabbed on. I'm an acrobat, and that's the whole thing with an act like this. You have to be an accomplished acrobat to be able to cover your mistakes. And what I just did when you were watching me practice is I made a mistake, and the wheel started getting away from me. Instead of falling off the wheel, I grabbed the outside strut, held on for dear life, rode it around one time, knew what I was doing as I was going around, and then righted myself. So
you're thinking every minute as where you are. You have to know where you're.
Yes.
Have you ever had any real close calls where you've come off the wheel and you go, "Phew, I made it that time"?
I've had worse than that.
Worse than that.
George should be like, so it's pretty clear why it's a solo act. You probably can't get a woman to stick around something like this.
I've fallen one time from this act.
Not too
What
high.
happened was,
Or he should say that he saw somebody else do the Wheel of Death, but they had like a beautiful assistant.
I was very lucky that I'm in shape enough to be able to handle what happened. Like I said, the wheel getting away from me. I get on the outside of the wheel. I was running this wheel, doing my last final trick, which
Like the heels do, ATF Media.
it's called the race in space, or the race for life, man versus machine. It's me against the machine. I get it going so fast. And
Well, luckily, I'd be like, luckily for you, you went with the Wheel of Death, because if you slip up like that on a movie set, you're done. Like, that's an actually dangerous field. It's not a carnival art.
I'm running and I'm trying to catch.
He'd get so mad, dude.
Catch it, and it got away from me. And as the wheel kicked up into the air, I started falling off. Instead of just falling, I grabbed the wheel, and I rode the wheel hanging just by my hands underneath it, rode it all the way up 45 feet and all the way around. And just as I come about 10 feet off the ground, I didn't fall off, I had to jump off, because if I would have held on, as you look at the wheel, only stands 4 feet off the ground, the wheel would have broke my back in half, it would have smashed me and drilled me right into the ground. I had to know just when. Not only was I scared holding on to this wheel going around, but I was thinking at the same time, how am I going to get off of this thing in time?
This guy's an energy vampire.
And also, when I hit the ground, am I going to be able to roll out of the way to get out of the way of the counterbalance that's about...
George is literally only using footage of this guy talking about his mishaps.
Solid steel going to take my head off if I'm there. If I hit the ground and I'm hurt and can't move, this counterbalance comes about 1 foot off the ground, it's going to smash me. So not only did I have to think, hop off, make sure I could get out of the way of the wheel, but now I have to get out of the way of the counterbalance. And all this happened within split seconds. And that was my closest call. When I walked away from that, I had bruises on my left side of my body. I hurt my knee, my shins, and my left elbow. But I couldn't believe I was in the dressing room saying, oh my gosh, I'm not hurt. I mean, I'm bruised, but I'm not hurt. I got a show tonight, I'm going to be able to do it. It was great. I mean, and it really, it was just, that's the first time I said, you have to get your sleep every night. You have to be on your toes. You have to practice the sound. You have to keep in tune with this thing.
So you can't go out partying every night of the week when you're performing like that.
Oh yeah, George has definitely let this guy. And then he's cherry picking, but it's still like he's telling the stories.
I could do that when I was in college 13 years ago when I was gymnast, okay? I was still a good athlete, and I could drink in the evening if I wanted to on a Saturday night or something like that. And I like to have my share of fun.
I could work
but
drunk.
Now I'm 32 years old. I'm a very straight person.
32 years old.
I'm a golfer. I'm a tennis player.
I'm a golfer.
I get my kicks more out of like leisure sports and my shows, and I relax just like.
Dude, Ruby would be amazing as the Wheel of Death person.
The next guy relaxes on a day off Saturday afternoon. I'm watching a baseball game or something, and I drink 2 cold beers. I mean, that's like a fun relaxation for me, and I think that's safe to say that really wouldn't harm anybody. I don't think that's too bad for me to unwind with.
I mean, this is brutal, man. George is absolutely letting this guy just go on and on.
I've been given this ability to be a really good...
This reminds me of Ben interviewing the Star Trek guy.
...acrobat, and now into a field where I'm developing daredevil acts and making a decent living doing it, and really getting a lot of good response from the audience, and it's like a great big pat on the back, and really great for my ego, and I love showing the people that I appreciate them appreciating me, and I'm just thank God I have this ability and able to do this kind of work for myself, and I'm ecstatic about it, and hopefully I can do this till I'm 45 years old.
Or longer. Hey, why quit at 45?
My father, who is like, I'm very close with my family and stuff, and my dad and I are like golf buddies and stuff. He's a banker. He's in the banking business.
Did he really do a halftime show? I would still watch that. Ruby gives a carnival vibe, absolutely. She's got the show. She's like a showman too, so she'd be able to like talk people in. Should have at least had him ride a motorcycle. Yeah, the thing I've seen something similar to this with like a motorcycle in each end of it, but it worked a little bit differently. But I was hoping it was like the Globe, where they like the bikes like circle around each other.
He wears a tie up to his Adam's apple 5 days a week for the last 40 years. He flies out and sees me when I'm in Mexico, Canada. He'll be coming to the Big E. He's taking the next Saturday afternoon. He's driving out to see me here. He loves what I do. He wishes he was doing what
Man, the Big E's hosted everybody. Gary Slidek, the one guy, Killer Kowalski, Grace Thorpe, the lady who paints the shoes.
What was his initial reaction when you said, hey, I'm going to be on the Wheel of Death?
My mother couldn't handle it. My father said, "Oh, Grace, Gary can do anything." You know, he thinks I'm just this. You know, like, he just thinks I'm so great. I mean, he's a big exaggerator. He just, you know, he loves his kids and he likes to be proud of his kids and stuff.
My father, he thinks I'm a good guy. He's a huge exaggerator.
My brother Jimmy, my younger brother, he has a starring role in a Broadway show, Jerome Robbins' Broadway. My dad is ecstatic about that. And he always has the pictures and he's showing everybody. And yeah, I'm real proud of my father and I'm proud of what he's instilled in us with the culture and everything. And we just try to do a great job to please our folks and to please ourselves. And we just, my brother and I are the two happiest kids in the world. You know, we're still kids. 32, he's 28. He's 28, so
oh no,
we're having a a great time.
But he won't do what you do, and you won't do what he does.
I'm just gonna say it, like, this is not promoting Gary Sladek's business. He's making the choices what to talk about, but do you think anybody's gonna watch this and be like, yeah, I need to go down and see the Wheel of Death? I need to go see the guy who's talking about how he almost falls all the time, that he's drinking on the job. Now we know he has a chip on his shoulder because his younger brother is, like, more successful. What a disastrous interview this is for Gary Sladek.
We both would probably like to do what each other does, and we really don't have the time to...
That is some pure premium, straight from the tap cope. I bet we each wish we could... I'm sure his brother's like, gosh, I wish I could walk in a wheel. Come on, dude.
I'm into the dance field.
Was he a gymnast too?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't a gymnast, and I was never a dancer. But if you notice in my work with my gymnastics and the way I could get into the dance field, it takes. I doubt if I could ever get on Broadway or anything, but it takes a lot of practice. My brother Jimmy, he can do some acrobatics, but he could maybe never excel into things like this. We both really have a great appreciation for what each other does. We really do. And we're best buddies, and we always go to see each other. So it's exciting. We love show business. We just love it. We're happy to be able to be in it. We really appreciate it.
And a lot of people wish they could be in it.
A lot of people do. I'm glad that I'm one of them that can be.
Well, Gary, thanks for being here on Primetime and spending a few minutes with us. We'll let you get back to your rehearsal.
Always a pleasure meeting somebody who appreciates my work.
As soon as I saw that, I was amazed.
Thank you very much.
Well, as soon as you find one, let us know, Gary. Anyway, back to Mark in the studio.
And I hope you enjoy the show when you get a chance to see the show if you come.
Oh, opera guy at least kind of made sense, right? At least to me, when you think of an opera guy, you think of, didn't we see somebody, that one guy yesterday in the telepathic video, he was like a snob, like you expect it from him. This guy should be like a wild, charismatic, fun, carny guy, and he's not. He's just a complete blowhard.
To see the 4 o'clock show, I'll try to do a good job.
Do an extra special job.
Extra special.
Okay, hey, stick around. We'll be back with more Primetime right after this.
Man, that was rough. That was like a one-man struggle session.
We're looking for a few good men.
Who airs out their family drama during a public access interview about your carnival performance?
A medal to be Marines.
True, Anand. Oh, wow.
My next guest can put you on the cover of any major magazine in the country. He did it for us. Let's meet Eric Lee. Well, Eric, welcome to Primetime. It's a pleasure to have you here. You just put us on the cover of Celebrity.
Yes. It was our pleasure. We can put you on the cover of one of 55 magazines, which we have. Many of them are licensed directly.
Amazing Sladek, 225 subscribers, 55 videos. We'll have to check it out.
To us. We have 2 products. One where you can come to our studio, portable studio. We'd be set up at the Eastern States Exposition, as well as several large fairs, including one in Boston. a car show, and we're also back in Springfield for a sportsman show in the spring then. We provide the costume.
I think somebody told him to grow this mustache. Was he separating the segments? Yeah, wow, nice. I didn't notice that before.
Everything you'd need to go on the cover of your choice then and produce a magazine cover similar to this here. Our second product that we have is a mail order product where you can send a snapshot to us. We can work from a photo and put that on a magazine cover of your choice. Then this works out as a great gift item for birthdays or Christmas presents.
So your group is called Celebrity Photo, and you do operate mail order.
What was that?
Yes, we operate a mail order out of our base in Hanover, Massachusetts, where customers are able to send us a picture to be placed on the cover of their choice then.
And if someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the address?
They can contact us. It's Celebrity Photos, P.O. Box 1335, Hanover, Mass. 02339, or call direct 617-826-6788. It takes about 3 weeks. We work from a photo, enlarge that, and put it onto the magazine cover of their choice.
And I suppose our cover should be out momentarily.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, here it is.
Hey, look at this. This looks great, really good. Well, thanks for being here on Primetime.
Our pleasure.
Thanks for the great photo.
Good. Hope you enjoy it.
Hope to see you again real soon. Hey, stick around. We'll be back with more Primetime.
I wonder if George is going to have a little breakdown at the Big E and back himself into a corner and start dropping racial slurs like Grace did.
Right after this, we're celebrities.
Joe Rogan looking on in the background.
Way back in 1988, when I was young, the American Cancer Society taught me that a low-fat, high-fiber diet could reduce the risk of cancer. Today, I'm 82 and still having a blast. Execute.
The American Cancer Society knows eating right can reduce the risk of cancer.
Welcome back to Primetime and the first Home Viewers Choice custom show where you, the home viewers, are voting on what you're seeing on the program right now.
It's unbelievable, George.
Amazing what
Should we do a custom show sometime?
Technology has come to. And it's time to vote again. Now, for the rest of this segment only, do you want to see us as we are? Or, number two, do you want to see us flipped upside down? Vote now.
What?
Well, looks like we're going to be getting flipped around, George.
We're going to be...
Better hold on.
We're going to be flipped upside... Okay, Jan, I'm ready. Flip us. Oh, no, that was almost painful.
Jeez.
Mark, I don't know if I can handle this. Maybe you better finish.
It's freaking me out.
It's that time once again of the program that we're going to be going to the entertainers with Looking for Love.
Oh, yeah, the entertainers. Let's go. We need something good after the sleigh deck crash out.
I spent a lifetime looking for you. Single bars and good time lovers, never true. Playing a fool's game, hoping to win. Sharing those sweet lies, but losing again. I was looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, searching her eyes, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of. Hoping
You have to, I think, appreciate that aspect of George too, is that like he's not like above the fray. Like he puts his own shit in here too. So like he's putting himself like, you know, out there for, you know, like he does the people that are on his show. I like that. In fact, the whole show might just be a scam to promote the entertainers.
One blessed day I discovered another heart, looking for love. I was alone then, no love inside. I did everything I could to get me through the night. Don't know where it started,
Johnny
or
Elbows?
where it might end. I turned to a stranger, just like a friend. I was looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, searching her eyes, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of, hoping to find a friend and I love her. One less
And that guy's live as well.
discovered another heart, looking for love. Playing
Look at Mark get with like the super close up of George.
I was looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, searching her eyes, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of, hoping to find a friend and I love her. Why bless the day I discovered another heart, looking for love. I spent a lifetime looking for you, single bars and good time lovers, never true, playing a fool's game, hoping to win, sharing those sweet lies and losing again. I was looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, searching her eyes, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of. Now that I find a friend and I love.
I think that's definitely true of movies. Like, there's tons of movies that if I like, I feel completely different about them if I watch them like 10 years apart.
Why bless the day I discovered another heart, looking for love. Well, another heart, looking for love. Well, another heart, looking for love.
Yeah, I don't mind the
That was Looking
entertainment
for
at all.
Love, performed by the
I feel like they're so like they're just so like chill that it's I don't ever like I'm never upset to see them. I'm gonna be very upset to see Reflections from now on unless they bring the girl back.
Entertainers. They did a great job once again.
Yes, we usually do, Mark. But hey, it's that time. You folks have been here for a magical night, the first Home Viewers Choice Custom Show. And I'd like to thank everybody for being here and thank you folks at home for participating in this program.
We'll see you next time.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, we'll have to do a custom show to be like, do you want to see Bailey Brooks get a bucket of ice water thrown on her, or do you want to see a guy complain in his car about hate comments? $19.91, man. We've been watching 2 years worth of prime time. All right, what do we got this time? Oh yeah, now we were just talking about skating. So we got Skate Scene USA, oh boy. Look at this lineup though, for real, dude. Skate Scene is going to be amazing. The entertainers are always good. Reflections is a coin flip. Ski School and Knox. Ski School and Skate Scene in the same episode. Oh boy, here we go, sitting in the cheap chairs in front of the woods. If I ever start a live and you see me sitting in a lawn chair in front of a wooded background, we gotta get lit.
From anywhere we want to be, it's Prime Time with George Dorunda. I'm Mark Bro, inviting you to join George and...
Oh boy, Mark is really starting to push, isn't he? We're getting more and more Mark as part of the show. It's kind of interesting.
his guest, Sway Pollard, the Incredible Knox, that great band Reflection,
Chick's back.
the Entertainer, and we'll be getting a ski lesson at the Mount Tom Ski School. So get ready for the most
God, man, we are eating good. This episode is going to be an all-timer.
entertaining show on television.
Hi, I'm George Dorunda.
And hi, I'm Mark Bro.
And welcome to Primetime. And Mark, let me tell you, with a fabulous guest list that we have on this program, let's get the show rolling.
From anywhere we want to be. I like that.
Very funny, George. That's a good one for over here.
Well, we are here at Skate Scene
Hey, Hurricane, what's up?
USA.
Place
And,
is pretty
I
wild.
see you're going to be doing a little roller
Yeah, a
skating
little bit
later
later.
on. But to start off the big show, let's go skiing.
You don't know what sport you want to do, George.
Well, we're here with...
Oh boy, what do... I'm just gonna let the content take me where it's gonna take me. I'm not gonna try to think ahead.
Ari, who is the director of the Mount Tom Ski School here at Mount Tom. Ari, welcome to Primetime.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to be here. And by the way, Mark, our associate producer, was supposed to get this ski lesson. However, he was called away. He's out on location today. And in his place, we have Eddie Kostek. Eddie, are you ready to go skiing?
Yes.
Okay, Tom is going to take care of you. Yes, Eddie is with Tom, our ski instructor. He is our Mark Bro stand-in. Well, Ari, first, how long have you been running the ski school here at Mount Tom?
Well, that's now my 20.
Oh, did Hurricane run the late show after Grace was done? I remember she offered it to Dalmatian, and he didn't seem interested.
27th year at Mount Tom.
27 years. How long have you been doing it all together?
Well, I hardly can count it. It's getting very long. I do it so far about 38 years, something like that.
And we tried to get Helga on camera, but she was a little shy. She said you were the expert.
Helga refused to be on camera. Huh.
Well, Helga is doing a beautiful job, and it's too bad that she is.
I don't know why she was shy. She didn't want to come on camera. We'll have to get her on the next time.
Yeah, you should see her ski. She is beautiful on skis, very graceful, very nice, you know.
Now, how does one get started in skiing? What are the basic steps?
Well, the basic steps is to make up your mind that you want to do it. That's the first thing.
That's the hardest step, isn't it?
That takes a little motivation, and we give all the help we can to achieve that.
Oh wait.
And the best.
I don't remember what happened like after the late show or whatever, but I do remember. Didn't you come on panel for a while with King? I was pretty baked, but I think I remember that.
The way is just to give us a call. Come on up, and we take it from there. You know.
I don't think we've seen George ski that I can remember. I don't think this is the first ski episode, though. I think there was one other one, maybe. Wasn't there? Or maybe they were just there. I can't remember.
We have a school which teaches about 30,000.
But I don't think we saw George ski either way.
Lessons a season.
30,000 lessons.
30,000 lessons a season, and I can say I think we know what we're doing. And since I'm doing that for 27 years, that makes quite a lot of people on skis, right?
A sign of success. Well, what are the basic steps? What are the procedures? What do we do first for Eddie?
Well, number one for Eddie, we get...
I saw where he was like, this is boring, and then he recommended some content, and it was absolutely like the most milquetoast, mundane, boring stuff.
On skis. We fit the skis to his...
a politician's daughter just saying some like super generic like lib stuff, and like Dalmatian thought it was going to be this like epic content. Everybody was just like womp womp.
To his person, you know, so he needs a size that reaches up to his chest about, you know, and so he goes down to the rental shop, and we have experts there. They know exactly what size ski everyone needs.
Now, why is it at the chest?
Well, at the beginning we use shorter skis. Shorter skis make skiing much easier. And, you know, the technical details can be performed very easy on shorter skis. Later on, as you become more proficient and as you want to go a little faster, the ski length rises, and then you have it about...
I don't get Fat Camp. At this point, I'm almost thinking that LolCal Live is like a money laundering operation, and that there really aren't these pay pigs, that this is just some weird way of moving money around, because who's donating like hundreds and, you know, of dollars for people literally like... It's not even non-tent. Like, non-tent is vastly preferable to just like whatever that is. I don't even know how to describe it.
Height of a person, or I personally have them up to my about this height, you know. So the better you get, the longer the ski.
Like, nobody who I feel like who's into LolCal Live still can really ever criticize like non-tent, like be like, how can you watch Vegan Patriot when she just lays around and smokes and talks to chat? At least she's talking to chat. Like, this stuff just looked like a bunch of guys hanging out around a like a kitchen island, not even really talking about anything.
He becomes.
Do longer skis mean faster speed?
Longer skis give you more stability. That's the major reason, yeah. And you can go faster, especially once you cruise on mountains. You want longer skis so that you have good stability.
Now that covers height. How about weight? Does your weight make a difference?
Well, the weight does make a difference, but at the beginning, not. The weight makes a difference in setting the binding. You know, you set the binding that it releases should you fall. And there, the weight makes a difference, how you set it. But this is done by the people who adjust the binding.
Are you talking about the Disney Snow White movie, or there's like a direct-to-video B horror movie Snow White right now too that I saw?
How they...
I didn't see the movie, but I saw that it was available.
Set that according to the weight of the person. The length comes so the weight.
What if we try to get Thorpe Studios off the ground by making a movie? We'll have to crowdfund it from chat, but we can make a movie where Ben runs like a ski resort, and Grace is like his spoiled daughter that kind of like, you know, runs it basically while he's in charge. She's actually like the one running the place, like with an iron fist. And then Ruby comes in and is like the Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack kind of character.
It comes then later in focus once you buy a ski for your final performance. Then
the Disney one? I don't think I've seen that one.
Weight has something to do with it too.
So you'll get a ski that's fine-tuned for you personally.
Right, that's
Hogs.
right. Mm-hmm.
What's up, Ski
And now that Eddie's fitted, what comes next? What are the basic steps? What do you show a person in their first lesson?
Well, he comes to us, and first we introduce him, do the equipment, how to put it on, and then we start on a level ground. We just walk first, because, you know, it's slippery, and that feeling alone is quite something different.
Just the feeling of being on skis.
Just the feeling of being on skis, yes. So first we just walk. We walk around, sometimes in a circle, so to get adjusted or acquainted to the skis. The next, we teach you how to climb a small, gentle hill. climb up sideways. And then the straight run, just sliding straight down. Here, it's always important to choose the right terrain, because that straight run should be done on a terrain that actually makes you come to a halt by yourself. You don't know how to stop yet. So you go straight down. You learn while you go straight down to bend your knees, move up and down, go from one ski to the other, so do become flexible and movable on skis. That's the first thing. The next would be that you make a straight run and you try to slow down, and that you do by making a slide wedge. That slows you down.
And will the wedge eventually stop you?
Yes, that wedge is actually there to stop you. So you do the straight run, then the wedge. And then you learn the straight run, wedge, straight run, wedge, straight run, just to learn how to maneuver the ski. That is the next sequence. From there on, you
I feel like I could pretty much ski at this point, thanks to Helmut's lesson.
probably are ready to use a very gentle hill. If you have a hill with a lift facility that is very easy to use, you go right up on the top of a hill and do that while you go down.
I gotta switch trains. I'll be right back.
And that already makes you enjoy skiing. You know what you do, you already ski by now. You just go straight down the hill. And that's in a wedge, and you control the speed.
Now, we've covered the straight run, but how about turning around other skiers or any obstacles on the hill? How do we handle a turn?
Okay, that's now the next thing to do. Now you have to be able to make a turn. You do that also in a wedge. You just follow, in our procedure, you just follow the instructor and try to copy him. You know, go follow behind the instructor and copy whatever the instructor does. That's the most effective way to learn how to turn. So you know now how to turn in a wedge. And then from there on we have a new way of teaching, and that is normally beginners are being taught to make one turn, go across the hill and make another turn. We try to modify this a little bit because the expert skier does not go across the hill. He stays in the fall line. So we like to teach the same way, in the fall line. So we teach you in the wedge, step from one ski to the other. And in this case, you start to turn a little bit, you know, like the expert skier. He waddles the same way, the expert skier. So you do it in a wedge, step from one ski to the other.
Yeah, Helmut isn't personalizing it. He's just doing what George asked him to do, like explain skiing. He's not telling him running down his family tree or anything.
Step the next one, and that begins you slowly brings you into turning. So that's the next step that we teach you. So you go up a gentle hill and go down all the way, step from one ski to the other and make those little gentle turning motions.
Well, we've talked about stopping, turning. What would the next step be?
Okay, the next step is now to bring the ski closer and closer. So you turn now in a wedge, but the next is you actually have in your mind you want to be a parallel skier. You have some expert in your mind and you want to reach this goal. Now we try to teach you to bring the skis closer and closer. And we do this again with our rocking on skis, step from one ski to the other, and then we bring, after that turn, we bring slightly the other ski parallel. So we make one turn, bring the ski parallel, next turn.
What is this occult symbol on his hat?
In a wedge, bring the ski parallel after the wedge. So you are now already one step closer to parallel skiing. And he's already doing that, you know. You could see his last run, he was bringing the skis parallel after the turn. And that is quite an achievement for the first lesson. I think this is dynamite.
Now, would you say that when people are skiing and you hear about injuries, that this is because they haven't been properly instructed? People try to teach their friends or they try and teach themselves? A real professional ski instructor is necessary?
I think skiing is very safe. And I like to quote here one specific point, and that is we teach Springfield College classes. And they, as you know, are a physical education college, and they have all kinds of sports. And they once made a test on injuries, and skiing rated almost highest versus jumping into the
It did kind of stand out to me that she didn't want to be on camera at all.
swimming pool and getting a scratch or whatever. Skiing, they had no injury at all. And if you do it properly, step by step, I can almost say it's grand.
You're kind of right, Cody Turbo. In this case, though, I think probably it's better if people were like, "Oh, I saw that, so now I feel like I can go and spend money at the resort or whatever." But yeah, getting people to like do their shit for you, like the wheel guy, even letting him film him doing the wheel, like, you know, that's not always a guarantee.
That you will not.
They want you to make them buy the ticket.
Be injured. Most injuries come out of overdoing it, overstepping, going too fast.
Going beyond your limits.
Going beyond your limits. That's exactly what it is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is basically what an average skier would accomplish in his first lesson.
It is basically, but I must say that this lesson was a little bit above average. You know, he did very, very well. But that's basically where somebody ends up, and that is using the beginner slope, making wedge turns on the way down.
And that's what's better about private lessons, because each skier can progress at his own level.
That's correct. Private lessons, the instructor teaches you exactly what you need and in the speed that you need. So private lesson is definitely the best you can have.
And if any of our viewers are interested in learning how to ski, who do they contact?
All they have to do is call Mount Tom Ski School,
Mount Tom
536-1575,
Yeah.
and ask for...
Do you guys remember Mount Tom? I'm pretty sure we've seen that before. What's up, Ember? Call Addie or Helga, but just don't ask to film Helga.
Either Adi or Helga, and we will give you all the information that you need to become a skier.
That's right. Helga will talk to you on the phone, even though she was a little shy to get on camera.
Yeah, she will. She's very good in talking on the phone. That's right.
Well, Eddie, Ari gives you his stamp of approval. You did quite well on your first lesson. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, very much.
You really liked it. Well, are you ready to go skiing some more?
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Ari. Thanks for being here on Primetime. Hey, stick around. We'll be back with more Primetime right after this. Let's go skiing, Eddie.
Chet Dragon.
Let's go skiing. Let's go skiing. Let's go skiing
Oh, thanks, Ember. I appreciate it.
in the morning. Let's go
I thought we were gonna get a jump there, didn't you? I thought we'd get a little hop. Nothing.
skiing. You and me. No one's seeing if you're yawning. Let's go skiing. Benzene me. Let's go fleeing through the powder. Now is the season. This is the reason. We all want to yodel louder. First we shush, and then we run a giant slalom. Run a giant slalom. Run a giant slalom. Maybe we will make the social column if we fail, you and I. So everybody, let's go skiing. Let's go skiing. Let's go
Look at this lady
skiing on
dragging
the
her kid.
mountain. Let's go skiing, you and me. Let's go, go, go skiing.
Everyone that's in this movie, even if they were like a newborn, is like 34 years old now? That's insane. Some of these kids are running the government now.
First we suss and then we run a giant slalom. Run a giant slalom. Run a giant slalom. Maybe we will make the social column if we fail, you and I. So everybody, let's go skiing. Let's go skiing. Let's go skiing on the mountain.
We pledged our allegiance to it when we were young. We studied its importance when we were in our teens. We sing its praises at every sporting event. We display it when we celebrate, lower it when we mourn, and honor our heroes with it when they've fallen. It stands for what we are and what we believe in. How we treat it says a lot about us.
You know, I was going to say we're back, but it should be you're back. You see, you're the ones that were gone. We've been here all along.
Right, George, but it's now time.
He's not on skates either. I'm telling you, every year that passes, it really increases your chance of a critical skating injury.
For Reflection.
Yes, one of my favorite groups here on the program, Reflection performing Prove Your Love.
Prove Your Love. All right, here we go. This needs to be good. Like, they need redemption.
Prove your love. Got to prove your love.
Let's go. Wow. Oh, yeah. George is like, I'm even going to give him a little boost in the editing. It would be even better if they put, like, if George had his red hat on and they just had somebody out there in a red shirt and red hat doing, like, crazy skate moves and tried to pass it off as George. Oh, I love that. This guy, that guy's hair is just, I mean, wow. See, buddy, this is what you should be doing right here. Oh my God.
That was Prove Your Love.
I think it's safe to say Reflection is so back.
From Reflection.
And when we return, we'll have those sway pole daredevils, the Incredible Knox. Stick around.
You begin with raw steel. Shape it with fire, muscle, and sweat. Polish it
Remember in Rambo where he just randomly became a blacksmith?
to razor-sharp perfection. We're looking for a few good men with a medal to be Marines.
Man, they really bounced back. What a show.
My next guests have been swaying for 9 generations. They're sway pullers. We have Renee, Tony, and Natasha. This is the 10th generation.
That's right. That she is. She's already working, practicing on this rigging too. But we have another act which is called.
She goes
the
up that
space
high?
wheel. No, we got little ones. You know,
Oh,
you gotta
okay.
start with the
Let's
little
start
ones.
the kids off slow.
Yeah, and she's starting on that, and we got another act which is called it's a giant space wheel, where she already performs in there.
And have you ever had any?
No, but I like that comment. And then I also liked how after she said that, when she was doing the Keem A-logging, she's like, you know what? Keem doesn't care about people. He doesn't care about these people. He just cares about the money, about the views.
Injuries?
Well, we had a few close calls.
A few. I mean, the way you slide down those poles head first.
Yeah, well, this is a family tradition.
For 9 generations.
Family tradition of sliding down
And it's going to keep
poles.
going, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
How did you first get into it?
Well,
Now, are you married?
Yes, we're married, and I originally come from a circus family also, 9 generations, and I'm used to being up in the air, so this really, it took a little bit of training, but
It had no effect on you.
not the height, no. I'm used to it.
That
so.
certainly would bother me, being up that high.
You get used to it. We have a really respect for it, you know. We don't play around.
And Mark, our cameraman, asked earlier, is there ever
We don't get drunk like the guy on the wheel.
any danger of these poles snapping?
Oh, yeah, I had one snap in 1974 at the Boston Garden.
Really?
Yeah, I was with Ringling at that time, and I landed up at the Mass General, and I lived there for about 8 months with 48 broken bones. Well, that's the close calls, we call them. Bad call is when you didn't make it, but it's a close call.
So anything is possible.
This guy's accent's kind of funny. He's dipping into sounding like Bronson every once in a while.
Possible in this business.
Yes, very possible. We had a few fatalities.
Hey, I had one of these break in 1974. Lived at the hospital for 8 months. 48 broken bones, Pally.
In the family, all with sway poles or other daredevil acts. Like we got the motorcycle goes up on a high wire. We got those two, which is my wife's family's world renowned for that, and we had a few close calls there too.
But it's fun. You must enjoy traveling around the fair circuit.
Oh yeah, that's the nicest part. You get to meet so many people. We average about 50,000 miles a year traveling, and my wife, we get a lot of friends. We got a lot of friends. We ride back and forth or call. I mean, it's not unusual that any time during the day when you least expect to get calls from, like we finished South America, Far East, and
so you've literally been all over the world.
Oh yes, we cruise the whole world.
And Natasha here is soon going to be a world traveler.
Yes.
And do you have fun getting up there on the poles, the little poles? Are you afraid at all? Not at all. That's amazing. Well, hopefully you're going to be doing it for a lot of years. And then maybe there'll be an 11th generation.
Oh, wow. God, that's we all hope for. We're looking forward to that. Who knows what the world's going to be like in 20 years from now, you know.
Well, thanks for being here on Primetime.
I think George is just incredibly, I mean, I've said it a million times, but I think he's incredibly resourceful, and people think opportunistic in a negative way, but that isn't always a negative. It just means I think anytime he saw an opportunity, I think with the guy on the wheel, I don't think that was arranged ahead of time. I think he just went to the event and saw the guy and went up and was like, hey, can I interview you? Because I kind of got that vibe when they were discussing, when George was saying when he first saw the wheel, he knew he had to come over and talk to him. But I feel like he's just open to anything, as long as people are willing to talk to him. And he doesn't have to use another Cuddy segment.
Time. It's been a pleasure.
Or Chuddy.
And
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Hope to see you again real soon.
We hope to see you again.
And we'll be back with more Prime Time right after this.
Yeah, this is a lifestyle. This guy's a carny. The other guy just seemed like he jumped into it, kind of randomly. This is it's an absolute lifestyle to this guy. Randy Johnson.
Right, penguins, make sure we're not wasting water.
Gotcha.
And rats.
Like, Grace was saying it last night, but I was thinking it during the Ruby stream, is that like we see a lot of people who do like walking IRL, and I think you can interact with people and the world at large without getting into like IP2 level degen, but I think you could like lightly interact a lot, and I feel like chat, that makes it much more exciting for chat, but so few people like actually interact with the like strangers they encounter on the walks.
Check that the house is properly insulated. And the Bessie, make certain.
As a streamer, I would have, if I was doing IRL like on the street, I feel like I would have to talk to people, like just to keep it. Otherwise, you're kind of like, unless you're specifically like Ruby's walking to Duncan, so you know you're going to get like a monologue, and then you're going to get Duncan, then you're going to get a dance, then you're going to get a monologue back home again. But if you're just wandering around, like I think you got to start talking to people. And Grace was saying that about the cows, that like they were just hanging out at this place when they could be like, well, my suggestion was they should go to a ranch and make that pimple woman shovel horse shit. But like there's a ton of stuff they could have done in that area that would have been much more interesting if they would have like interacted with actual people.
We're recycling all our bottles, cans, and paper.
Or normies, as Grace says.
Gee, Piggy, what can we do to help the environment?
Let's not waste electricity.
To find out what you can do to help, write to Make a Difference, National Wildlife Federation, Washington, D.C. 20036.
Lights out!
Well, Mark has deserted me again. He must be having a good time. I haven't got a clue where he is. I've been waiting for him.
George.
Oh, Mark.
It's that time of the program. We're going to the entertainers with Melody of Love. When are you going to
Wow, he really is taking charge of the show.
put the skates on, George?
Well, I see you're having enough fun for both of us.
Said I love you so. More than you'll ever know.
I'll be like, hi, you don't know me, but I watch your old primetime appearances religiously. And I'd just like to know how you feel about the week before you had the spectacular performance. You had the real downbeat, and it looked like Reflection was down for the count. How did you overcome that? I think there are at least a couple or three different concerts, because I feel like their outfits do change. But the audience clips seem like they're always from the same one. Have you guys ever heard of this movie? It's called The Devil's Honey. I think it was like a 70s or 80s movie from Italy. And there's this scene in it where a guy plays a saxophone directly into this chick's box. It's amazing. You see everything. I don't think so. I think she just came. I don't think it played into the storyline after that I can remember too much. Really interesting movie, though. It's got quite a few really intense scenes like that, but it's a pretty entertaining movie overall. Are you serious, Joe? Maybe George watches the show and deletes my comments immediately. Maybe he doesn't see this as a positive for prime time. Oh, is this new? Is this a new clip?
Well, Mark has deserted me again one more time.
Here I am, George.
He's back. But I'd like to thank everybody for being here, and thank you, the folks at home, for watching.
George, I had such a great time here tonight.
Why is that, Mark?
Because the show featured me so much.
I can't think of anything else to say. Good night, everybody.
I'm fascinated by this like production story angle. I mean, I'm probably way reading into it too much. I'm trying to manifest the storyline, and I just have to let it wash over me. Did I miss it? Okay, I think it's probably coming up here. Joe Baptiste, Carl Satar. Come on, baby. Incredible Knox. Okay, so Jeannie Wasong. Nice. Oh, wow. So 3 brothers, Tom Casey, and then Jeannie. Okay. There you go, ATF Media. He could be doing a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and once, like, you know, they were just doing goofy shit, and now we're like over analyzing it.
It's one of those days when everything goes.
No, I'm not watching the same. We get the same commercials every time. Oh no.
From anywhere we want to be, it's Prime Time with George Dorunda. Tonight, singer, songwriter Lynn Barcelo.
Yes.
The Entertainers.
I love that they're sticking with the new intro.
Prime Time Tire expert Mike Chuddy, and that great band Reflection. So get ready for the most entertaining show on television.
Sea bass.
Hi, I'm George Dorunda, and welcome to
Wow.
Primetime. And when I say I'm George Dorunda, that's not bragging, that's just fact. But I do want to clear something up before we go any farther with the program. While we have no tangible affiliation with the circus, I do believe that you are now watching the greatest show on earth. So let's get started with the greatest
Wow.
show. It's the Entertainers, and come go with me. Dun, 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 be doo be dun, 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 be doo be dun, 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 be doo be dun. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, dun, 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 be doo be dun, 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 be doo be dun, 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 be doo be dun. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, darling, come and go with me, we'll tell you, baby, baby, I can see I need you, darling, so come go with me. We'll come to my hotel, darling. We will never mind, I need you, darling, so come go with me. Whoa, 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 whoa.
There's Mark.
Well, yes, I need you, yes, I really need you. Please tell me that you need me. Well, please say you never, yes, you really never. You know, give me a chance. Well, come into my hotel, darling. We will never mind, I need you, darling, so come go with me. Whoa, 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 ciao.
Jeannie Wasung has scrubbed her name from the internet? Wow. Well, I mean, she probably got, like, inundated with marriage proposals, gifts, flowers. It was probably too much.
Well, yes, I need you. Yes, I really need you. Please tell me that you need me. Well, please say you never. Yes, you really never. You know, give me a chance. Come to my.
Man, if it would have rained this day, half of Primetime wouldn't have happened.
Darling, we will never mind. I need you, darling, so come go with me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, dun, 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 be doo be.
One of my, oh, look, ATF Media, here it is again. One of my favorite lines of it from King talking about your comment, Randy, the B-roll footage is King was like rambling one time in Discord, and I was the only person watching him. And he's like, oh, I don't know why I'm saying these things, but you know what? This is just going to end up as B-roll footage on Mark Fusion's channel. What if they perform every year? I'll try to go. I have no interest in seeing like the Grand Canyon or anything like that, but I want to see George Dorunda perform at the Big E. He really does do Reflection DJ. We could talk to him. Maybe he could hook us up with Jeannie. Well, probably not if he watches the show.
Yes, that was the Entertainers, and come go with me. And when we return, we'll be supporting our troops.
Like, I could get a shot of me in front of a Black Hawk helicopter, because they're always over at the airport pretty close to here.
With singer-songwriter Lynn Barcelow.
I'll introduce a Thorpe clip sometime in front of a Black Hawk helicopter.
Come on back to the sets in a minute if you can.
At like a high school football game.
We pledged our allegiance to it when we were young. We studied its importance when we were in our teens. We sing its praises at every sporting event. We display it when we celebrate, lower it when we mourn, and honor our heroes with it when they've fallen. It
When he walks into the room,
stands for what we are and what we believe in. How we treat it says a lot about us.
Yes, welcome back to the big program. My next guest has had many accomplishments in the music industry, and here to perform her latest offering is Lynn Barcelo, and We Support Our Troops.
oh man. Now we're talking, baby. Now we're getting into some real Keno. We got a new singer, right, I think? And we've got a patriotic Support Our Troops song. Fantastic. It synced. I thought it like synced up pretty well with King's entrance.
We all wanted peace, but it didn't turn out that way. But we're still proud to live in the United States. You can lay your bodies in the street, but what good will it do? You can shout your chants by candlelight, but what good will it do? The only good you can do now is join all of us who know that in our hearts and in our souls we support our troops. We all want peace, but the chance keeps slipping away. Have you ever stopped?
People at Cooper's, you tend to get people when they're really going for it, like Persian cowboy style. A lot of these people are pretty restrained on here.
To think just who's to blame? You can defy your president.
Yes, Randy.
But
Good.
what good will it do? Burn the flag and all it represents. But what good will it do?
There you go.
The only good you can do now is join all of us who know that in our hearts and in our souls we support our troops. Men and women, sons and daughters are fighting for their lives. They love their country, and we believe that what they're doing is right. So put down the sounds, get on the streets, and join all of us who know that in our hearts and in our souls is where you'll find our troops. Yeah, put down the sounds, get on the streets, and join all of us who know that in our hearts and in our
Hey, get cracked.
souls we support our troops.
Yeah, a few episodes ago we saw that whenever George was at a fair, it was like Operation Desert Cookie that people were selling. Well, I think I can sum up this performance with one word: wood.
Yes, Lynn Barcelo performing We Support Our Troops. Lynn, welcome to Primetime. Also,
you, George.
Linny the Bee from Chicopee. Lynn, how did you get inspired to write this hit?
Well, George,
Original song too. Wow.
it would only be fair for me to mention my two very good friends, Jimmy Landa and Joanne Pettico. They're both from Chicopee, and they were actually the ones that inspired me. After the war had started, they were out there with their signs supporting the troops, and we had seen many protesters, and since we thought that what they were doing was no good or wasn't doing any good for the morale of our troops,
God bless America.
I decided I would write a song, and that would be my contribution.
Now, you also sing with the band Headliners. Did
Yes,
any of
that's
the
right.
guys assist you in the recording of this material?
Yes, they did. Actually, Joe Elliott was the one who composed the song.
Keyboard extraordinaire.
That's right. Yep, the most talented. He wrote the
Interesting shirt.
song. I wrote the lyrics, and then Michael DeSanto played the guitar track. But basically, Joe did all the other instruments. He played all the other instruments on the song.
So you could say Joe did it all except for the guitar parts.
Yes, and the vocals.
Well, we already know who did the vocals.
Yes, we do.
How deep did you get in your participation in supporting the troops, other than writing the material?
Well,
What? What a question.
while I was out there shortly after the war began with my sign, "We support our troops," out Chicopee Center with a
Did you
few of
attend
my
all the
friends.
rallies?
Oh, I attended every rally. Yes, I did. And I got a lot of other people to join too. It started with Jimmy and Joanne, and they got me to join, and then we got others to join, and the next thing you know, we were at Westover Air Force Base, and what started as 2 people was now over 1,000 people. So it was really a wonderful sight to see.
Other than obviously supporting our troops, is there anything else you wanted to accomplish?
George, I just feel really proud for writing this song. I tried so hard. I went through a lot of time writing it, and I think it's a beautiful song. And I would like all the troops to hear it. I'd like all the troops and their families to hear it. I think that they would, really, it would really
She does have a SoundCloud.
make them happy. Because just to know that there were people out here supporting them, because the anti-war protesters really did more harm than anything. And they're still out there now.
And the
that's
war's
really-
over.
And the war's over, and that's really sad.
The war's
and
over,
these guys
guys.
are going to be, and women are going to be coming home, and, they don't want to see these anti-war protesters out there. Granted, there are a lot of things that have to be done in our own country, but
Hey, these people that fought across the globe for freedom of speech don't want to see people exercising it.
Saddam Hussein had to be stopped, and that's all there is to it. And what we
Saddam.
did was right. And I love my president, and I love my country, and I'm proud to be an American, and I wouldn't live in any other country.
Well, I think I know why these protesters are still out there, because they can't believe it that war actually brought peace.
That's right.
Oh, listen to George. Oh, wow.
That they're, I just think they just want to be heard. They're out there, they'll protest just about anything.
Oh, they'll jump ship and they'll be protesting cows growing corn next week.
Yeah. They're holding signs, no blood for oil and all this, and when actuality, it has nothing to do with oil at all. We did not go to war because of oil. We went to war to liberate the country of
She must have a political page.
Kuwait, which was being taken over by a madman who was killing the people of Kuwait, raping, murdering, torturing. I mean, the man had to be stopped.
The maniac had to be stopped.
That's right, George, and that's all there is to it.
Did you ever think you'd get the distribution on this recording that it would become as popular as it is now?
Well, I never really thought about it. It would be nice. It would be wonderful if
You know what we should watch sometime is remember when John Kerry, way back in the day, gave the testimony, and it was like, remember they replayed it a lot during when he ran for president, but it was him talking about Vietnam, and he was like, lopping off arms, lopping off heads in a fashion reminiscent of Genghis Khan. We need to watch that video.
if it were to go places, but if not, that's okay too. It's just as
The recycling one, George couldn't really hold back his disdain. And yeah, here though, he's definitely more aggressive with it.
long as a lot of people get to hear it and enjoy it, I'll be happy.
Did you have any problems with certain stations playing the material?
Well, in the beginning I did, because I don't think they were sure that it was a professional thing, and that I had done it professionally and everything. And when you walk into a radio station with a tape and say, "Hey, I wrote this song," will you play it? They kind of look at you like
You're from outer space.
Yeah. So it took a little bit of time, but there were a few stations that did play it. WAQI played it, and WAMS and WI.
If you're a pattern person, notice she's wearing like the same soft pink and white striped shirts as that band. What was it? EFO?
REB.
WMAS.
WMAS.
MAS.
MAS.
Yes, home of Frank Knight.
Yes. And so I was pretty happy about that. When I heard my song on the radio, I was thrilled. So.
Well, and now all the folks just saw it on television.
Yeah, I'm real happy about that.
All the folks.
I hope they liked it.
Well, I'm sure they did enjoy that. And Lynn, thanks for being here, and thanks for your effort of the war. Even though you weren't over there, you did your part here.
Thanks a lot, George.
And I think the song sounded great, and best of luck in the future. Come back anytime.
Thank you, George.
Hey, stick around. We'll be back with more Prime Time right after this.
Oh, and listen, when I know that now that the cameras are off, when I said anytime, I mean any, like, even now. Like, if you need me now, I'm in. What? Oh my gosh, wow.
Charles Bronson isn't happy.
Sure takes guts to vandalize parks or beat up on trees. But that's what some jerks are doing to our public lands. Only the land can't fight back. But we can. We can save our lands, you and me. Let's face it, someone who gets us...
What do you think? I kind of think I would like to try to make one of these PSAs for saving the parks. I really like... I feel like I like all of the people that are in them, even though South to West thinks they're like a scam to get your personal information.
Punching out flowers shouldn't be too much of a match for us.
Bronson.
Right, take pride in America. Post Office Box 1339, Jessup, Maryland 20794.
There's a lot of streamers out here getting their kicks, fucking their chairs.
Welcome back to Primetime. Well, my next guest has been with us on numerous occasions. He is our resident Primetime tire expert. Yes, it's Mike Chuddy. Well, Mike, welcome back. More and more, you're becoming a regular fixture here on our Primetime program.
Damn it.
You know, last time we were here, you told me that I had a tire problem. It was a tire pull. But you also mentioned it could have been an alignment. How do you know when you really need an alignment?
Well, there's a couple of ways that you can know if you need an alignment, and one of them is the problem that you had with your van earlier, and that's that the van was pulling to one side.
And no matter how you switch the tires, it still pulls in the same direction.
Switch the tires side to side, it still pulled the same way. So we know one of the alignment angles or more is off, and that's causing the car to drift off to one side. One of the other ways of knowing your car is out of alignment is by the way your tires are wearing. If the tires are wearing perfectly even across, generally speaking, your car is in alignment. But if you're getting edge wear on one or both of your tires, then you know that one of the alignment angles is off and is causing that part of the tire to wear quicker than the rest of it.
Could it be outside edge wear on both tires, or inside and outside on one and the other?
It could be anything. It could be outside edge wear on both tires, inside edge wear on both tires, inside on one tire, outside.
Yeah, we learned last time what to do if your tire is pulling but it's not an alignment. Now we're learning what to do if you do need an alignment, or how to tell, or whatever.
Side on the other and vice versa.
But if it's...
They are wearing the same shirts? Well, there you go. At least he's making an effort, though.
Even tire wear.
Uneven tire wear is usually a reason to have your alignment checked. Now, some people just drive too hard and wear the edges off their tires no matter how their car is aligned, and that comes from very hard cornering, but you don't see that too often. So
the average person doesn't have to worry about that.
No.
This
so
is how
if you're
where
looking at
OPC
your tires
gets
on a
his
regular
knowledge
basis,
from. I wouldn't
so
doubt
every
it.
time you rotate them or every time you check the air pressure and you notice a little bit of wear on one side of the tire, your best bet is to get it into your dealer or to your alignment man.
We're starting to think that the Thorpes are heavily influenced by Primetime, because last night they had a segment where pretty extended segment of just doing a voice changer, and like their favorite was where they were in a cavern. And George Dorunda back in 1991 did an episode where they had a segment where they changed their voices to sound like they were in a cavern.
And have them check the alignment on the car.
Now, what about shaking?
Stick with
Is
tires.
shaking balancing or an alignment?
Well, shaking generally is a balancing problem. It's not an alignment problem. And unfortunately, a lot of places that do alignment work...
What if this footage is 2 years old at this point? If he filmed it in '89 and he's just like cutting new segments off of it?
The $29.95 shops.
Well, there are a lot of shops that do very good work for $29.95, but
should they ask the same questions as a shop selling tires? Should they know what kind of roads you drive on and how you drive your car?
Sure. They want to know. They want to know if you're on the highway all the time, if you're on flat roads, if you're on back roads that are crowned over. They'll need to know that too, because they have to vary the settings on your front end alignment accordingly.
If you're a heavyweight person like myself.
That too. We might want to set the alignment with you sitting in the van.
It does make a difference, an extra couple of 100 pounds.
It can make a difference.
More or less.
If I've got a person who is very heavy and it looks to me it's going to change the alignment dramatically, I'll have them sit in the car when I line it up. And they're going to be a lot happier that I did when they get over the initial insult. But getting back to your original question about shaking.
Yeah, I don't watch too much on Kick, to be honest.
Too many alignment shops in the past have gotten alignment work out of cars when the problem wasn't alignment at all. It was tire balancing. And
Dorunda's in the same area. He's in New England, so and he does a lot of work at he's done a lot of appearances and interviews at the same place as Hooplandia was. So it could be Dorunda could be the inside man.
And we'll get into that a little bit later or at another time. But shaking usually isn't a reason to have your car aligned. It's a reason to go have your tires balanced. But shaking can be caused by worn front end parts. And if these parts are worn and need to be replaced, then you need an alignment. So it wouldn't hurt to go in to your alignment man and have him check out the front end if you're getting a shake, because he'll be able to tell you, well.
I feel like when I tried to look through the algorithm on there, it was like all gambling or like political people. I felt like I didn't see very many goon content streams.
You've got a worn constant velocity joint in your drive shaft, and that needs to be replaced, and then we've got to line up your car. And
or people playing video games
may just tell you, well, your tires are out of balance, so let's balance them, or go to your tire dealer and have him do that, and that'll take care of your problem.
I have a friend who just bought a brand new vehicle, and he took it into his tire shop, and they told him that he needed an alignment. And the vehicle has like 2,000 miles on it now.
That happens a lot. Cars come from the dealers out of alignment sometimes. The problem is that...
From the factory?
Right from the factory. When I was younger, I used to think that part of dealer prep was making sure the car is in alignment, and it may still be. But the fact of the matter is that specifications for an alignment setting on a car are pretty wide. And the car cannot be in perfect alignment, but be in specifications. And the dealer is going to tell you that the car is in alignment. If you've got a really good alignment mechanic, he's going to set the car exactly where it should be, not plus or minus 1 degree or plus or minus a half degree, but exactly where it's going to get the best tire wear. And this is what
I pretty much only watch the casino with like the Thorpes are featured on it or somebody adjacent. I don't watch Dalmatian Dog's Kick content. The few times I've went there, I feel like he was playing RuneScape or something like that. He was playing some game.
Seeing a lot with new,
but he wasn't really talking.
Cars. They come from the factory in alignment, but not at the best possible setting. So you need to take it into your alignment man and have him set it where it ought to be set.
You mentioned potholes. What makes a car go out of alignment?
Well, contrary to what most people think, hitting bumps in the road and hitting small potholes does not make your car go out of alignment. Your car is built pretty solidly, and all the parts are made out of steel in the suspension. And they don't just stretch or bend without...
It's not like rubber.
No. They're solid, and they're set where they were set at the factory, and they're going to stay there unless you hit
Even if those settings weren't right to begin with.
Right. But you have to...
Wow, he really liked that. That really tickled his taint. Did you see his reaction? Like, you don't really see a lot of emotion from Chuddy normally.
That puts a lot of faith in buying a new car.
Bring it into your...
Yeah, I like watching Dalmatian Dog, but I don't want to interact with him. So, like, I don't want to have to go into the chat and, like, talk to him. I just want to, like, listen.
Alignment man right away.
Think of what else could be wrong. But anyway.
No, you have to hit something pretty hard to cause a front-end part to bend.
Like the roads in Chicopee.
Or the roads in Plainfield, but we won't get into that either.
The government.
George at the Mohegan, when did that open?
Again.
Right. So the things that really cause a car to go out of alignment are, first of all, worn parts. So if you've got a car with 20,000 or 30,000 miles on it, and some of the metal parts in the front end are starting to wear, like ball joints or tie rod ends.
Yeah, I mean, there's some streamers, at least for me, that like I don't mind interacting with, but then there's some streamers that I just want to listen to. Like, I don't really interact with VP. I just go in and like I let her know I'm in the chat, and then that's it. And then I don't really talk the rest of the stream. So like sometimes I just want to listen. I don't want to have a conversation with Dalmatian Dog. Like, that doesn't interest me in the slightest. Like, nothing against him. It's just I don't want to talk about, you know, products or his opinion of liberal women or anything like that.
Then the looseness in those parts is not going to hold the alignment angles where they should be, and it will be out of alignment. The other thing is what we call suspension sag. And just like people, when cars get older, the springs...
You wouldn't trust the Chudster? Come on.
...start to sag. And when that happens, the geometry of the front end changes, because most cars are set up with either McPherson struts or unequal length control arms, things that change their geometry with a change in height. So as a car gets older, the alignment needs to be checked periodically.
What's with the chat turning on Chuddy after he's like his 30th appearance on the show? All this, we don't trust him all of a sudden?
And adjusted just because the car is getting older and the suspension is getting sloppier and sagging. Those are the two major things that cause a car to be out of alignment.
Well, Mike, I was going to ask you about front-wheel drive cars and everything, but Mark has been waving at me. He's been telling me we're running late again. So thanks again for being on the show. We'll have to talk about that next time around. And we'll be back with more Prime Time after this.
Damn, this is good shit.
When I first got my license, every time I left the house, my parents would say, "Remember to buckle up, dear." But I never did. Just didn't seem too cool.
That's kind of true, Get Crack. I do always have like people that I've been watching for a long time, but I haven't brought them up on here because I'm kind of like I'm letting them cook. Or like if I show them to you without a lot of content to show you, you could get the wrong idea. So I have to like, some of it you do have to let them cook and let the content get to where you know it can be. Like, and then some people you can like watch grow, but sometimes you need people to already be where they need to be at. Like Madison Swan, I love watching Madison Swan, but there's no way we could watch it on here just because it literally nothing happens. But I know that eventually there will be something there. I'm almost a year in.
Most of the time I was only going around the block. You know how parents are. Always telling you what to do. But you know what?
Well, he also doesn't seem like he's an alcoholic, which would make you question his mechanic skills.
I wish I'd listened. I really do.
By the way, every time you see that, don't forget that we met the cop who made that PSA.
Yes, we're back here at Westover Air Force Base, and here to perform from a distance is that great band, Reflection.
From a distance? Fuck yeah, let's go.
From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and eagle dares to fly. From a distance, there is harmony.
guy with this hair is just, what is going on?
And there are no guns, no bombs, and no disease.
No disease. Oh.
No hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we are instruments marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. They're the songs of every man. God is watching us. God is watching us. God is watching us from a distance.
God, that hair is just,
From a distance, you
it looks like a Lego. This looks like Lego hair.
look like my friend, even though we are at war.
The three brothers. Who were they? The Blatnick brothers or something like that?
From a distance,
Janet.
I just cannot comprehend what all this fighting is
I like to think Jeannie is performing just for me, Daninsky.
from a distance. There is harmony, and it echoes through the land, and it's the hope of hopes.
For sure she does. Come on.
It's the love of lives. It's the heart of every man. And it's the hope of hopes. It's the love of lives. This is the song of every man.
Maybe she's going home to like a husband that tells her to quit wasting her time in the band. Maybe that's why isn't she the one that like you couldn't find anything about her at all on the internet?
God is watching us. God is watching us. God is watching us from a distance. Oh, God is watching us. God is watching. God is watching us from a distance.
Wow, man. Great performance. Yeah, it started off whatever, but it got there.
Yes, that was Reflection and From a Distance. And, well, it might be time for you to go watch a black and white movie. Thanks for being here. We're done. Good night, everybody.
The Patriot Wing. I'd like to see Jeannie in like an outfit, like a Jane Fonda workout outfit. God is watching us just over and over again. It's like a Jimmy song. No, what was his, in the spiritual realm, I'm rich as hell? By the way, Jimmy really put me over in a live yesterday. I stopped in and said hi to him, and he told me that he didn't think he could put into like, that he could quantify the, how glad he was that I came into his life. So, I mean, that's pretty good words from our buddy Jimmy. Yeah, Mark took a definite backseat. Well, I think this was a good episode. I don't have any issues with it, but do you feel like this was kind of a filler episode? It was all stuff that it was new stuff, but it was from like there was really nothing like new on the show, I don't feel like. Or was this the one with the girl that sang? Is this the Patriot episode? Yeah, okay. So that was new. I feel like the rest of it, like that was the centerpiece of the show. Everything else I think was just groups we'd seen before. Oh man, hello. Mike Chuddy. Miss Kuwait. So he just went down to the Air Force Base and was like, "Hey, can I film a little bit?" Yeah, I mean, it's hard to criticize the episode because what new we got was like epic, but it does feel like this episode was like a just kind of built around that. All right, I don't have enough time to watch another full episode really, but I want to show you a couple of things. I found this channel of this guy who posts a lot of just like, it seems like he's posting like just like ring cam footage and like phone calls and dash cam footage. And there's this one, it's of his dad. And I don't know if the dad knows that the kid like uploaded this video or not. The show's pro-military. George is very, very conservative, like for sure. Okay, so this one is just called like Dad Going to the Doctor. And I can't figure out if this is like what the deal is with it. Like, I don't know if the guy knows that this is posted or not. I'm like, is this weird to anybody else? Like, like, what the hell is this? It's running the battery down. It's just the video's titled "Dad Going to the Doctor." Like, it's so bizarre to me. I can't really I don't know what it is about it. It's just something's very like semi off-putting, but also like really funny. Again, this goes without saying, but if you visit any of these pages, please do not be unkind. These are We need people making content. Yeah, there's no audio to it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really I can't really explain it. Anyway, I just thought like it's kind of a curiosity. It really kind of captured my attention for a minute. I'm probably not going to feature the channel again. Let's try this one here, okay? Back to day one, alcohol. Tried to unalive myself at a Popeyes and was taken to jail for the night. We can't watch the whole video, but we can return to this account if you want to.
Howdy, Internet. This is Beth, coming at you live, straight out of cells. I'm making this video, albeit thoroughly embarrassing, because, oh, and no, I have not brushed my hair since I got back from jail either. On purpose. This is the random clothes they gave me. Yeah, I just don't really care to filter any of this. I think it's important that I put the truth out there, no matter how ugly. So, yesterday, I went to see my friend at the hospital, and, as he was going in for his MRI, which was going to take about an hour.
I don't know. I don't know if he made it or not. Now again, I don't know anything about this person. I just saw the title, the video came up in my feed, and I was like, yeah, the chat will want to see this.
I made the executive decision to fucking walk to the liquor store and the bar. And yeah, I don't remember much other than drinking too many double Caesars, and refusing to eat with them, which is always great. And the rest was told to me by the cops and my mother, and I'm about to tell it to you because I gotta admit my shit, and I want to have a real representation of what
Daninsky, come on.
Alcoholism looks like. Like, I'm not gonna lie to the computer. I'm not gonna lie. Nobody lies on the internet. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't lie to the computer.
But I'm not going to lie to the internet and fake progress. That'll do nothing for me, nothing for anybody else. So yeah, anyway, with that, I will tell my very embarrassing, pathetic story. So, like I said, went to a liquor store, bought vodka. For some reason, I didn't drink it. I don't know. My mom confiscated it, thank God.
Future Grace.
But I bought a little bottle of vodka, and then I went to, I won't say the establishment name because I guess that will give away my location. But I went to a bar and, drinking, and that's where my memory ends. But from here on, I will be just reiterating what I was told by the police and my mother, and concerned people.
I'm just going to reiterate what the police said. Do you think there's an intoxicated woman episode somewhere in here for Beth?
Called 911. So apparently, I was just laying like in like an alley, like in some brush, like without my shoes on, without my stuff. I don't know where my stuff was. I don't know if I must have been wanting to take a nap. I don't remember. I don't know what my thought process was. So that was happening. Me laying in the dirt, napping, taking a dirt nap. I don't know. Oh, and by the way, I did not put on my good camera for this video because I look like shit, and I'm going to try to minimize that a little bit. Because I've been embarrassed enough. Yeah, so some concerned guy called the police, but right before that, I had apparently called my mom and told her that I couldn't see anything, and if she could pick me up. So she was already kind of on her way to where I thought I was, which was wrong, but she did find me. And so she got there, and the police were there because the concerned guy called 911, of course, and he gave my purse.
They'd find her in she's saying she like woke up, that the cops woke her up in an alley. That would be interesting intro to a body cam video.
My phone, my debit card, my ID. I don't know where I left them, but somehow this guy found them. He gave them to my mom. I have them back now. I'm grateful for that, honestly. But
let's skip ahead a little bit. We can revisit her. I just don't have a lot of time right now.
Like, I was just sitting there, just feeling like the worst person ever, right? And one of the cops, his name was Derek, because I asked his name because I wanted to thank him by name. He was like, you know, like, when you're in, like, the drunk tank, there's someone that walks around every so often because there is a chance of medical emergencies or overdoses or, you know. So, one of the times he was walking by, I asked him if he could call my mom and have her come get me. It was about 4 a.m, but I wasn't getting any sleep, and I just really wanted to talk to someone at that point, and he told me he wouldn't call her until about 6 or 7 or something, and at that point I just said, okay, well, will you talk to me? But again, every time I leave there, I have a better opinion of cops because, yeah, this cop, like, literally just talked to me, and I was like,
Spicoli found her? Oh, we'd never hear from her
like,
again.
I just feel kind of at the end of my ropes. Like, this is what I said to him. I was like, I just feel like I'm at the end of my ropes because my father, who's not in my life...
Let's skip forward a little bit.
...is to track progress for 1, accountability, and 2, for my memory, because I forget a lot of things. So that would defeat the purpose. So what else? Is there anything else I should add? Yeah, I guess, yeah, back to square one. Back on day 1, I guess. My therapist will call me at 1, which is nice, and I'll probably go to AA tonight. It's just kind of frustrating because, like, when you're in a room full of people that are supposedly just like you, like, supposedly the best people you want to be around, like, the #1 place you'll feel accepted, and then you still feel like a total outsider, like, I don't know if it's a me problem, I don't know if people just don't like me, I don't know if I just am imagining this, but...
Hey, Avery.
I don't know if
We should go over some of her older content sometime and see the journey. I feel like there's definitely something here.
I'm making excuses. I don't know if I'm just... Like, on one hand, I think it's a really hard thing to do to
Oh, yeah, definitely, Randy. 100%.
To focus on your addiction day in and day out when you're trying to get over it, but... I mean, the alternative has not gotten me anywhere, so... Yeah. So what can I do about this today is the last question. I can talk to my therapist. I can rest. I can make this video about it, which honestly has been cathartic, and I can own my mistakes, and I've got a whole, let me grab it. Oh, shit.
See, she's looking for support, and we have a whole Boyd army of support.
Oh god, I'm a hurting unit. Fuck, I'm covered in bruises. I've got a shit ton of AA literature
Oh boy.
that I should probably crack open today. Take a little peek, you know? And once again, I'm just gonna close this off by saying, although yes, I did make a sad attempt at killing myself.
I agree. We're gonna have to let her cook, but I just thought like this was one I thought we could watch. I thought this was one that we could actually watch as it grows. I mean, the title alone, tried to unalive myself at a Popeyes.
Drunk. I'm not in danger. Nobody needs to I'm not gonna kill myself. Not on purpose, at least. So nobody worry about that. And yeah, if anyone has any tips.
This content makes you uncomfortable. This is like, to me, this is like, I think I would file it as like friend simulator content. Like it's really personal. It's really intimate. It's like really like the way that the streamers film this kind of content is like super like, it feels one-on-one. So I can understand why you feel like that.
Remarks. I don't know if anybody else maybe is going through something similar and wants to talk to me. Email me. I'm making a YouTube video.
New character.
But yeah, if anybody else might be going.
We're also seeing her, I think this one got just a teeny bit out into the algorithm more than some of her other videos. We're seeing her at like a low moment too. So I mean, you got to keep that in mind. Like, you know what I mean? I think we're not seeing her at her like normal or at her, you know what I mean? We're seeing her at a low point.
Through something similar, you can email me. My email is bethadonebb@.
I get constant wellness messages from YouTube based on the content that I watch, like a lot.
gmail.com, bethadonebb@gmail.com. And or you can always
her channel is it's called the Bethadone Clinic. YouTube.com @the Bethadone Clinic. Beth, like the name Beth, Bethadone.
tweet me. I fucking love Twitter. That's something about me, guys. If you fuck with me, then follow my Twitter, because my fucking Twitter is where it's at.
Oh, for sure. You definitely have to like, you got to get to know them. You have to put some time in. That's what I'm saying. Like some people, I think you can just tell right away it's going to be worth it. I think this is one worth exploring on stream. But then like somebody like Madison Swan is just, that's something I have to have. The content has to be done. Like I wouldn't just go to her stream randomly, regularly, like I would for like Savvy Guy or something.
@ADONE_BETH. So, yeah, I think I'll end this one here. This one's been a little longer than usual, but I think it's warranted. And like I said, I just did not want to leave anything out. And, like I said.
How's she closing? I gotta see.
After drinking, I mean, the least I can do is offer advice on the internet. But yeah,
Fantastic.
Anyway, and with that, I'll end it. Thank you for whoever watched, and if it offended you, probably shouldn't watch again. But yeah.
There we go.
Not going to censor myself for anybody, let alone the internet.
There you go. All right, so that's the Bethadone Clinic. Let's watch one more video. We watched one yesterday, but I found the one I was wanting to watch. Let's see. Okay, yeah, here we go. I might have to sort out the video for this. That is brutal. Jeez. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I gotta go. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I don't know what's gonna play next. Let's check just to see what it is.
Good morning. It's Sunday.
Good. We're not gonna watch this, but the next automatic video was "Good morning. I'm in my car, March 16th, 2025." All right, I gotta go. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow for Memphis Wrestling. I'm very excited to see what happens. She looks fit. Yeah. All right. Thanks again for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'll see you later. I maybe will do like a really short IRL test stream.